Welcome back, guys. We are here with my friend, my brother. I don't use the word brother a lot.
Yes, sir.
Amazing producer, amazing piano player, vocal arranger, songwriter, songwriter, William Mcmillan. Bro, thank you. Long overdue. Thank you so much for coming. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, bro. I'm feeling honored. I'm so super honored to be here. I don't use the word brother loosely either. This is my dog right here, and yo, you are doing an amazing thing, bro.
Thank you,
So
man.
I just
Thank you.
wanted to just give you those flowers until before we started. I just
Thank you,
wanted
man.
you're
Thank you.
doing an amazing thing, man.
Thank you, Dan. I'm honored to sit down with you. I really, really mean that. We've been knowing each other for a very, very long time.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to give people some backstory. Of course, everyone's familiar with you, but how was life for you growing up? And when I say that, I mean from a child all the way up into like middle school time. Like how was growing up in your household?
Well, I grew up in make sure I'm looking at you.
It don't matter. It don't
No
matter.
matter.
Yeah, it
Cool,
don't
cool.
matter.
I grew up in a home with so I have two older sisters, Julia, who's also in music, and my older sister Kimberly. Mother and father, heavy in the church. My dad was always a preacher. My mother, when I was younger, she used to be over the children's choir,
Dope,
and we
dope.
were we were always just always in
Your
church,
mother was in music as well.
ish, in a
Just
way.
teaching.
Yeah, but she had a passion for children, in developing. So
Dope,
she was over the children's choir when we were younger, and that's kind of how I like got started.
dope,
In a
dope.
sense.
So during that time growing up, were you already playing with your dad, like keys, organ, traveling, or just like you were just there?
Well, I started playing the drums.
So you're a drummer first.
Ish.
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna say ish a whole lot,
Got
but
you, got you.
I started out playing drums. I believe I was like 8, and then I have cousins. Shout out to Otto Gross and Lee Pearson and James Johnson. Those three, they're my first cousins.
Oh wow.
And I kind of grew up watching them play the drums, and I wasn't as good as them. So, but I still tried it,
Right.
and then that was around 8. At 10, I started picking up piano, and after that it was just
10. That's crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
So during that time, like you said, your dad's pastoring. How was that? A lot of times for like PKs, like your parents give so much to other people in the church that you feel like you don't get enough time. So how was that balance where seeing your dad in the middle of the night, somebody may call, hey, can you come to the hospital, pray for so and so? Do you how was that? Was it hard to balance that now? I know you guys have a fantastic relationship now, but was
Yeah.
it hard to balance that you feel like, man, these people are taking my dad's time. I want to do this more, or
Yeah, well, my dad ain't started pastoring until I was in about I believe I was in 12th grade, but he operated as a pastor like my whole life in a
Okay.
sense. So I just wanted to, but honestly, my family dynamic, I had such a big family and big village to where I don't know how I didn't feel like neglected because I know he was, gone doing,
Right.
ministry and things like that, but I just had such a big village. Like my grandfather, my grandmother, me and my sisters would be over there.
Dope.
I had a whole bunch of cousins. And my mom was, very much present. And when my dad did come home after he got finished from work and preaching and all of that, I'd just be so excited to see him. And
Right.
then sometimes he would take us with him.
Dope.
Actually, when I think of it, the majority of the time when he was preaching somewhere, he would take us with him. So I didn't really feel that like neglect.
Now
Yeah.
I see you call your dad a hero a lot, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, we're fortunate to grow up with our fathers. A lot of our friends or cousins or
Yeah.
they don't have that honor to have their dad in their life growing up for whatever reason. Um, how has your relationship grown over the years with your dad? Because it seems like you guys are really like best friends,
Yeah. That's my
brothers.
guy.
But of course, the respect is always there. That's your
Yeah.
father. But how has that relationship grown to the fact that you're like, man, this guy is my hero? How can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, man. I say all the time, people say that somebody tasked me with describing my dad in one word, and the word I mentioned was here. He's always been here. He didn't even as I think the superhero aspect of it is, and even to this day, my dad wears a lot of hats. He's super busy, always traveling. They just made him bishop. What is it? Jurisdictional bishop over DC jurisdiction.
Congrats, Pop.
He was like, shout out to my dad. Super busy. He's working in national church. He was, when I was younger, he was serving the bishop that we were under, you know, all the time. But for some reason, like he was still present,
That's amazing.
and that's what I mean when I say he's a hero. He's a superhero because I don't even know like how like that's humanly possible. So I got one child, and it's hard.
Hmm.
Like having a child is it's not easy. He was able to do that for all three of us.
Amazing.
And so that's what I and we're close. I think he instilled in me when I was younger honor, you know, and he didn't he ain't shy away from disciplining me,
Right.
but he also didn't shy away from affirming me, too. And so it's like that was I feel like that plays a major role in how we are today because as close as me and my dad are now, I still honor that man still, and I don't shy away from that.
That's amazing.
So
That's amazing.
yeah,
I think it's just good for us to have that conversation about our fathers while they're here. They can get their flowers while they're here,
yeah,
like, because the rate we're moving at now, we just don't know. So it's good
hmm
just to get this stuff out now where he can hear it, where it's tangible. He can hear it, he can feel it. So
yeah,
I commend you on that, man. I love my dad as well. We have a fantastic relationship. So I
yeah,
really, really commend you on that.
yeah.
Um, I see you post about your mom every so often from time to time.
hmm
I want to say it seems like you lost your mom at an early age.
That was 14.
Yeah.
I was 15. That was 15.
How was that when you found out? The only thing that I can compare it to that is that my dad lost his brother at like I think I was maybe 13 or 14, and that's
Mm-hmm.
my first time seeing my dad cry.
Yeah,
Like my uncle got murdered, and my dad like first time I see him cry, he was like coming home and he's like falling up the steps. He was like so. It's like
yeah.
not to say your experience was that traumatic, but losing your mom like at the time. How did you cope with that? Like when you initially got the call, you found out, and then like even today, like how did you cope with that during that time?
Um, you speaking of today, so I say and this is a side of the question that you asked. But I just want to throw this like fun
Absolutely.
fact out there. To I say like 2 months ago was the first time I actually went to my mother's grave since she passed away. That was over. I'm bad at math, but she passed away in 2004. 2004,
Okay.
very long time.
Hmm.
Um, but to answer your question, man, it was so quick. So she was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer in the liver, in February. She passed away in April.
Mm.
So it was very, very quick. Um, I was angry because I was very close to my mother. Like I was very, very close to my mother. Even though young mama's boy, in a sense. And I don't know. It's like sometimes, don't you know how they say like over time, it gets better,
Hmm.
But I think over time you just learn how to. I think I heard Kirk say this or somebody. You just learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
But my mother was the most incredible woman and I'm not just saying it because she's my mother. I've never heard her say a negative thing about anybody. Um, she instilled in me tools and principles that I go back to even this day.
Hmm.
You know, and it's like sometimes I'll think about her and I'll think about moments. And I'll smile and then I'll cry. But I feel like when I went to see her gravesite a couple weeks ago, it was almost like it was very therapeutic. The reason why I didn't go there, it took me so long because I understand that she's not there. Her remains are there, but she's in heaven. But just going there, just kind of, I was able to just kind of like sit back and just, I actually took my daughter there too. You know,
Wow.
so I miss her very much, but I'm just so so grateful for her and all that she was to me, my sisters, and you know,
This next question wasn't a question that I was going to ask, but I'm going to ask it now because I love my mom as well, and I'm close to my mom as well. So we're not going to talk about dating, but what I do want to talk
hmm
about is a lot of times as young men, not only can speak for black men, when we are looking for someone, we're looking for our moms in a mate. And I feel like a lot of times we get shamed, like, oh, like you want somebody to be your mother. It's like, not to that extent, but
Yeah.
essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, from the little bit that I've just found out about your mom, very positive, caring. She's always want to work with kids. Very
She
considerate.
loved Jesus.
Love Jesus. So it's like,
Yeah.
I would like to find that in a mate, and it's not as easy as you think in this time that we're in now. There's a lot of layers you got to pull back to see that, and we're not going to delve into that. But I really just want to say that I feel like it's harder now because as a child, it's almost like you're a product in your environment. So you've seen your dad, like you said, you've seen your dad go to work, preach, church, do this, blah blah blah. Always made time for you. You've seen your mom be loving, caring. I'm pretty sure, assuming preparing dinner, we'll do your homework, we'll
Oh
make
my
sure this is
God!
done.
Listen,
But like
most of my beatings was because I wasn't doing homework.
right.
So I'll be playing the game. She'd come in the room and pop me. Get downstairs and finish it. You know, it was all of that. But just the discipline, the principles.
Right.
But bro, like that's because I don't want to date my mother, but I had a great mother.
Some of her attributes and like you would want your current spouse to have.
Is not an option.
Yeah, especially like you said
not for negotiation.
For the career path that we're in as being,
Yeah.
performers or creators. Creators is a better word. It's like I don't always need something negative.
Yeah.
Even if I'm feeling it, I don't want you to say it because I could just be in a rut right now. Like I want you to be confident. Like, oh, sweet, don't worry about that. Like, we're gonna do this or blah blah blah. That hearing you, that's why I said it kind of stuck up because hearing you say that, I can assume that you need somebody who is a ray of sunshine and always positive because we go through things as creators. We feel like, oh, we're not good enough. We feel like, oh, I produced this song, I played it, it didn't get nominated like I thought it would. I didn't receive this award or like the hard work. So it's like to have somebody who's completely different from you makes that easier at times.
Bro, one thing I say, because I ain't trying to take up the whole time talking about this, but when I was switching from drums to keys, it wasn't necessarily like my choice. So, you remember the movie Titanic? So like at the end of it, during the credits, the song "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion is the first song during the credits. It was about 10 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock, like it was like late. Don't ask me why I was watching Titanic like that. Don't ask me why. But we had a little TV on top of the piano, and I was 10. I never like learned how to play anything. But in that moment, as the credits was going, I went to the piano and I started just playing the melody that I heard, right? And I mean, I learned it, and it was just like I'm like fascinated, like, oh my God, I'm doing it. My mother and my father, they come out of their room, and this is like them telling me later or whatever, but they come out of their room, they see me. My dad wanted me to go to bed. My mother was like, no, like let him finish. And so fast forward, I started learning like little songs that we would like listen to on the radio or whatever. And so my church, shout out to Greater Remnant Church of God in Christ, that's my church that I grew up in. They were doing this like talent night. And so my mother, I told my mother that I wanted to play a drum solo because I was still playing drums, still trying to, still watching my cousins and all that good stuff. I told her I was going to play a drum solo. And she said, no, you're not. She was like, you're going to play one of them songs that I've been hearing you play all this time. She said, no more of them drums. She said, I can get on and beat a drum. So like, you're going to get on that piano, you're going to play. And I was pissed. I don't know if I can say that. But like, I was mad. And the song was I'm in love with Jesus Christ. I'm in love with Jesus Christ. 10 years old, and I learned I was playing it with two fingers. And she was like, no, you gonna play that song tonight. And from then on, from 10 to 12, playing for it was called the Inspirational Gems. Playing for the children's choir. And then at 12, I was a main musician at the Bishop's Church, playing the organ.
This is before YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Before you could say, how do you play How Great Thou Art? No.
But it was
Wow.
because like everything that has happened, and I know we're gonna get into other things, whatever. I don't want to jump the gun, but everything that has happened in my life, as far as my career, I attribute to my mother pushing me, and my dad, and my dad too. My dad, when I started to really kind of develop, he would take me in the basement. We had this like old Clavinova Yamaha
I know you're talking
electric
about.
piano,
Yeah.
and he will open the hymnal and go through hymns and have me follow him, have me back him up. So my parents, they are man, they are a blessing to what my career has turned into, and me understanding this part of my journey and my calling for sure.
So, like I said, growing up, your dad, pastor, and like you said, he's always been in that position as a pastor. Okay, not without the title, but he's always been. Of course, he's a pastor now. He just became a bishop, but also being coaching as well. Correct. It's always a stigma that people talk about PKs. That are like, oh, you got to be perfect. You can't do this. Blah 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 blah. Did you feel any of that coming up?
It's weird. Not coming up, no. I felt it a little later in life as I was an adult, and I was making mistakes that people could see. But I didn't, as a kid, no. I think because.
So, like middle school wise, you were kind of like, okay, my dad he just traveling and preaching.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how, in a sense, like, because I just felt like in middle school, like really up until from a kid to like adulthood, or like kind of like high school ish. I feel like my parents kind of shielded me from that. I really can't tell you. I felt like pressure, and I know that's not a lot of PK
Right.
story, because I think the blessing in how I was raised was I wasn't sheltered, but I was covered, and because usually when people are sheltered, by the time they are uncovered, they wild out.
Right.
That wasn't my story. My parents allowed me to make some mistakes, but also kind of like teach me lesson and principles in those mistakes or whatever. And you know I was just kind of able to like learn some things on my own, but still like with guidance or whatever. So I don't have that like story of me being a preacher's kid, like you got to be perfect. Now there is a part of that stereotype where I did have like a little phase when I kind of was doing it whatever I want, but that kind of happens to all of us in a sense. We're trying to figure things out.
You're just not under the microscope.
Yeah,
basically. So you talk about your sisters earlier on. I want to talk about Julia, man. I've seen you guys work together so much.
We did a song in here actually.
Yes, we done a million songs together. Your interaction, I can tell you guys really, really love each other, man.
Yeah.
She recently just got married. How does it feel to see your sister like get married, be happy, be loved on, and be loved and cared for like she should be? How does it feel to see that?
Man, shout out to Julia, shout out to Aria, shout out to baby Emmanuel. They just had a baby boy.
Congrats.
He's 3 months. He's 3 months.
Awesome. Dope.
Shout out to Emmanuel, her husband. My sister's name is Julia Lemur.
Dope.
Like, so it's Julia. We used to have conversations about what that like would look like, as far as like like who like okay, what will marriage look like, like if you meet somebody and you get married to them, whatever, and to like actually watch it happen, and to see her like really like in her bag, see her in her mom bag, see her in her wife bag, is just amazing. She's out there in Florida just killing it, and her music killing it. Her and the group that she sings with, Brandon Camphor, in One Way, they just were nominated for a Stellar.
Dope. Amazing.
So shout out to them. And Brandon, I know we got more work to do, but yeah, she's just doing her thing, and I'm just really 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 proud of her. And she's my sister. She's she's somebody that, don't you know how like some people like are ambitious, but it's like in a negative way, like they don't mind like stepping on people's like toes to
Right,
like
right.
get. My sister is like the other side of ambitious. Is like for whatever she has in her life, she goes for it. Um, but she remains, integral in the love for what she do and whoever she does it for. Like it's what's the word? It's like what's the word? It's like a what word am I trying to think of? It's like contagious.
Okay, okay,
You know what I'm
gotcha,
saying?
gotcha,
It's
gotcha.
like she does not do anything like haphazardly.
Right.
And I'm just excited for for where she's going and all of the things, and I'm just grateful for her.
I, it's funny. I don't know, like I only know about your mom what you told me, but it seems like Julia kind of carries that spirit because every
Oh,
time I
for
meet
sure.
her, big smile, like always happy, like you know what I mean. So, and from a music standpoint, her voice is very unique. No
Yes.
one sounds like Julia.
Yes.
Like I feel like she belongs on Broadway
Yeah.
or right like you and your sister writing songs for Disney. I feel like her voice is different. I
Mhm.
think not Jason's current record, but the record before last, she had a moment where she was singing and everyone was like, Georgia, like,
Mhm.
because when you hear her voice, like, you don't hear it a lot because she's not like performing. When I say performing, I'm like singing like solo stuff like that a lot. But when you do hear it, it's kind of like, oh, that's Julia,
Mhm.
because it's so different. Um, when you guys started working together, how was that process? Whether working on stuff, I know before she did something for Aria, working on some stuff for yourself or her,
Mhm.
even featuring on some of your records. Like how
Mhm.
was that process of working with your sister?
Julia. So I mean, we've been best friends since I came out the womb.
I can really see
You
that
know,
too.
like it's
Some people sometimes like, oh, it's my brother. Like I can see like y'all really just locked in.
like she'll it's funny. She like before she got married, before she was even dating, Emmanuel. We would be on FaceTime all day, every day,
Hmm.
to the point where when she when she started dating Emmanuel, like, and they started getting real serious. um I wouldn't get that many FaceTime calls, and I'd be like, thank God somebody got her attention. I'm just kidding, but no, like, we've been and it's crazy because now we back to FaceTiming all the time. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But um working with Julia, because we are so close, we know each other so well, I could play a melody or whatever, and she'll catch on to it.
I've seen it
She
happen
already
before.
knows how my mind works when I'm like trying, like telling her to do different things. Like, she trusts me, like, to even vocal coach her. Like, William, tell me what to do. Tell me what I need to do.
I've
Whatever,
seen it
whatever.
before.
And
Yeah.
it's just a great thing. And the thing is how she trusts me with those areas as far as like production. I trust her with her mind as far as songwriting.
Hmm.
Um, like, I'll come up with the concept of a song, even lyrics of the song, like the bulk of the lyrics of a song, and then I'll send it to her and I'll tell her, you know, make it make sense. Julia's like, she's like, when it comes to that, she's like a human like Chat GPT. It's like
Mm.
she's so smart as a songwriter and a lyricist. Is like, I don't think there's not many songs that I've ever done that she hasn't like co-wrote
Oh wow.
on. But we just get each other. Like that song, the song "See You." Like
Hmm.
we wrote that together years ago. I'm talking about. I might have been 18. I think she was 20. Probably earlier than that, But and I'm looking forward to even even what's to come, because she has something to say.
Of
Like
course.
with her music. So I know I just answered it. I'm trying not to answer these
No,
questions so long,
no,
but
please. No, you're doing great.
yeah,
Andrew,
yeah,
just like keep doing what you're doing.
yeah. So she working with my sister is, and the thing is like, as much as we love each other and as much as we enjoy working with each other, and is a great experience. Even when we work, even while we're working, and we may have like a challenging moment, or like we may not agree on a part, we'll table it, come back to it, and then it's like, it's like our relationship really is expressed through like what people hear once the project is finished. You know what I mean? So
Dope. So, high school.
Yeah.
I talked to Jordan before, and he told me you transferred to Milford, right?
Yeah, 12th grade.
Where were you going to high school before?
Um, what's the name of that school? Oh my God, I just drew a blank.
Lake Clifton? That wasn't Lake Clifton.
No, it was Sojourner Christian Academy.
Okay.
It was Sojourner Christian Academy. It was actually a newer like a newer Christian school.
Okay.
And yeah, that's why I was. But I was playing for Milford Choir throughout all of high school.
Okay. No, at Sojourner, were you playing there as well?
Yeah, they had like a piano in the auditorium that I would like get on, but they didn't really have any like musical
Okay.
anything going. It was a brand new school. Like they
Oh, that got
we
you.
were kind of like the test dummies, like in a sense. Like it was good. It was good for us.
So, coming from a Christian school to Milford, like public school, was it like a major transition for us, like environment, teachers, staff, or was kind of like it's just another school. It's not that serious.
I think just the nature of the dynamic in the school as far as like how many people were there. That was the only like difference. Because I don't care if you had a Christian school or a public school, kids is kids, teachers are teachers.
Right.
Um, but I think my class my class was so small. I'm almost embarrassed to say I think it might have been like 5 people.
It's
in
a
my
journal
class.
or
At Sojourner.
Sojourner. Okay, dope.
So it was very very small. I'm grateful that my dad at the time he let me transfer because I just wanted the high school experience.
Right.
Although I was still like playing for the choir and things like that.
So, when did you meet Jordan there? Like, how did that happen?
I think I met Jordan when we were in. I know he's gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were in like 10th grade or something like that.
Okay. So you were already playing for the choir, or was when you got there he was already there, or was somebody else there before? So he was.
Yeah. So I was playing for the choir. And shout out to Carlos.
I remember Los. Yeah, that's Corinne's
Los.
brother.
Yeah, Carlos McGeechan. Yep, Los, my dog. But we were both playing for the choir at the time, and then actually Nutty, because I was traveling with I think it was Andre Nance at the time.
Jesus, stop asking my questions. Oh my.
I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
But Nutty told me he was like, bro, you gotta check on my brother, bro. My brother, he's sweet, bro. He whatever lingo we used to use back in the day. He like
Right.
bat me, all that.
Right.
But and then but I was like, oh bet, cool. And then Jordan, I forgot where we were, but he got on drums, and I'm just like, yo, who is this dude? Like, but yeah, I met him because I believe he was in the marching band at the time.
Yep.
And yeah, we definitely met at the school though. Yeah.
So you already if the question you just stumble across was actually next, so it's dope.
Got you.
You played for a lot of groups.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first group I remember you playing for was Andre Nance.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
So the first
official group.
First group I played for, his name is the guy that was over, his name is Kendall.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the group, but it was Kendall and so and so. I forgot the name of the group.
Okay.
But then it went from that playing. Then I was playing for Andre Nance.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's when I first saw you playing for Andre Nance.
Yeah.
And when I first saw you, I was like, who is this kid? He looked like the same age as me. Like,
yeah.
But he was like playing. It was like boys amongst men, but he was like you were playing. So, how was that process? If you can remember that far back playing with Andre Nance, like how did that come about?
Well, I honestly don't know how I started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, shout out to Pastor Andre. I'm sure he had a conversation with my dad. I think Andre was just starting this group. And yeah, I believe that band was myself, and I was the young guy. Like I remember. I was like 14, 14, 15, something like that. It was myself. Morgan was on bass. No. It was another bass player. He passed away though. He used to play at Cardamore. I cannot remember his name.
So you were there before Morgan?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I forgot his name. But he played at Carter Memorial for years.
Okay.
But Lester.
Lester Wiles. Okay. Wow.
Y'all related?
I don't know.
Okay, I always wanted to know that.
People been asking me that for years. Like I'm this shit.
Y'all probably, because y'all family huge around here,
I
bro.
don't know because he's from South Carolina. My family's from South Carolina.
Y'all
I really
probably
don't.
related, bro.
Probably related.
And y'all favorite just like a tad, just like a little bit.
I don't. Lester, we got to find out. People been asking me for years. Lester, my life. I don't know. He could be. I really don't know.
Yeah, but it was Lester.
My bad. I don't know. I'm serious. Go ahead. I gotta ask my parents now. Go ahead.
Yeah, bro. But it was myself. I really forgot his name.
Okay.
But bass player at the time, Tayvon.
Okay.
And Kevan.
Kevin Marshall.
Okay. Yep. And that was the band. That was the band at the time, and then after that.
So before you go further, so playing with two guys at that time, like Tayvon, shout out to Tayvon Booth, shout out to Kevin Marshall.
Yeah.
Playing with guys at that time who were like just known in the city. How was that? Was it an easy atmosphere to kind of delve into? Like, were they like welcoming, like, oh, it's like Lord Bro, or was it kind of like I gotta earn my keep first for them to say like, why is he here? Like, how was that atmosphere?
From what I remember, it seemed like it was welcoming. I was always the youngest cat, like in these settings. So it shifted around the time I turned 30. I was starting to be like the older dude, but but yeah, no, they were super welcoming.
Dope.
I was picking their brain or whatever, and Tayvon and Kevan, they were like, they were dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying? Around that time.
100%. Yes, I remember that.
And I used to love hearing just Kevan play. Kevan, man.
Yeah.
That organ,
Yep. Kevin Marshall on organ. Yep.
Both of them and Tayvon on keys. Switch it. It ain't matter. It was just, but I was just happy to be there. We were all young, but I was just younger.
Yeah.
And so it went from that to the band just started expanding.
I remember Henny was playing with y'all for a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, Henny. Yeah, shout out to Henny, man.
Yeah, shout out to Henny.
I think he might be in Cali. I think
everywhere.
Or going crazy.
And then I want to say at some point Chris Forbes was there.
It was Chris Forbes. That's when Chris Forbes and Nutty came on.
Okay.
And that's when, I'm like, I've never heard nobody play an organ like this in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Chris.
Shout out to Chris Forbes. Chris was different. Chris
Chris Forbes, I used to, and this is back when we were like doing little, I would like play at Israel Baptist sometimes or whatever. This before I was like on.
You and Jordan played it together, right?
Yeah, we played it together, yeah.
Yep, I remember.
And Chris would be on organ, and I would just sit there and I would try to mimic everything he did. Like everything, man. Like to this day, bro, Chris is one of the baddest, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Forbes.
It was not too long ago, my church had a revival, and I think the lady did was like, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Like Pastor Sade or Prophet Sade, and Chris was playing organ, and Joe Pryor was playing keys, and Chris just came out with this crazy like shout movement, and they just took it away. I was like, yo, this is what's going on right now. So shout out to Chris, man. Definitely a legend, man. We love you. Shout out to Chris, Tayvon, Kevin. Shout out to all you guys.
Yeah, Morgan and Nutty. Nutty, he used to, and I don't know if he still plays. I don't know if Nutty plays still because he DJing
so much,
killing out in the A or whatever. Yep. But he played like with like a flat foot. He played like this.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. And
I used to watch him like, man, like, yo, how are you getting that much power?
Right.
Out in the from the bass, like playing like that.
Too, right.
Just, killing. But Nutty, man, one of the best this city's ever birthed, man.
Yeah.
And then Morgan was younger. He was younger, but he was still older than I was. And I mean, like, just Morgan just always had a wow factor. Like when he
still
played.
Does.
Oh no, still does.
Still does.
Morgan ain't stopping.
Right.
But yeah, that was the whole Andre Nance band. We did some. Not gonna get into that story, but we we went down to North Carolina for at John P. Key's church, you know.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
that, you know, that was
Kevin and I talk a lot. I remember that.
it was a very, very, very interesting time. But it was my first like live recording that I played on, so I was excited about that.
Dope.
Yeah.
The next group I remember you playing for, and correct me again if I'm wrong, is Steve McKoy.
Steve McKoy.
See, I'm gonna tell you
Yep.
before you delve in that, I'm gonna tell you I saw him playing with Steve McKoy, and it was at a war conference, World Assembly Restoration War Conference. And I think before it's funny, my memory is terrible, but I remember this. Doobie Powell got up before you guys, and you guys were next. And for some odd reason, the power like went out. You were playing organ, and before y'all got out, the power went out. So, slowly but surely, the power started coming back on, and I guess whatever circuit you was on came on first. And I never forget Jason. It was Pastor Jason Nelson. He's playing bass at the time. He's like, "Come on, Will, like you got to play, like you got to open up." And you started playing organ. It was just you, and you was blazing. We were just like, "Oh, this nigga for real."
I don't remember. That's crazy.
Trust me, I know Bishop remembers. It was at Hunt Valley Marriott, World Assemblies of Restoration. I told you my memory, but this is crazy.
Jay, that's crazy, bro.
It was the Hunt Valley Marriott, World Assemblies of Restoration. You were playing with Steve McKoy. And like I said, the power went out, and for some reason, whatever circle you were signed into, it came on first, and you were playing organ, and it was getting bad. And it's funny, everybody was just watching because nobody could play, so it was getting bad. So, but how was that experience playing with Steve? Like, how did that come about? Playing with Andre and then now going to Steve.
Yeah, man. No, so playing with Andre, it was more like I was familiar with it because it was very, very churchy. I'm gonna just put it like this: Steve introduced me to Michael W. Smith, like that sound,
right?
And so that was Steve, and shout out to Joshua Wilson, man, Mouse. Those two guys, they introduced me to what, what we know today is, as CCM music, and beyond just that, just Steve's approach to writing, to arranging, like, so this is how I remember meeting Steve. I was playing at this church. It was, I don't know if I was playing for my dad or whatever the case was. I was playing, but then I saw that Steve was there or whatever. And I said his whole group was there. So I was on the organ. I'm like, man, I'm about to go crazy. Like I want, because I heard him, a few months before at Kicking It with the King. And I was sitting. This wasn't like new song. This was like old psalmist, like. So I saw him there, Kicking It with the King, and they were doing their rendition of "I Will Call Upon the Lord," and Jannard was singing, bro. I was sitting. I'm like, yo, I never heard this song like this. I recorded it. I don't know. I forgot how I recorded it. I think my phone, it wasn't an iPhone. It was, but I was able to record it, and I would like play it over and over and over and over. And then when I got a chance to play in front of Steve, I went, gave him my best. And Steve, came to me afterwards, like, yo, like, who is this kid? I forgot how old I was, 14. I don't know. It was definitely in my teens.
Again, this is before YouTube.
Before YouTube.
Say it again. This is before YouTube. Carry on. I'm sorry. I got to say it. Like, carry on.
Bro. So Steve was like, who are you? Like, what, and, we exchanged information. And then I was, Steve literally, he poured literally all he could, into me.
And this is with like musicianship as well, keys.
This is keys, but more so just like approaching, music and seeing music from a different lens. So I started listening to, the Michael W. Smiths, the Chris Tomlins, the, Hill songs and stuff like that. Like Steve, like, and then on top of that, just playing his arrangements. I just enjoyed it. This was before we was all getting paid to play, and it was a career. Anytime, mind you, I was still in school, so like, Steve used to like to rehearse we don't do long rehearsals, by the way, no more. I don't know what that's about, but we'll figure that out. But
See what you just said. Like you said, he liked to do long rehearsals because, like you said, when you heard them kick with the Kings, they knew that music.
yep,
There was no stems.
yep.
So,
No stems. What?
like I said, so now when rehearsal shows, like if it's wrong, well, stems will cover us.
Yep.
So,
Nah.
but that's a very solid point.
Yeah, we were rehearsing. Then my dad then they would have to check in with my dad to make sure I was in at at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those were some of my favorite moments playing with Steve McKoy and Greater Purpose, man. Just I never heard singing like that before. I never heard musicianship like that, and it was myself, it was Mouse, Mike
Moore.
Moore.
He played drums. Mike Moore on drums.
Yo, shout out to Mike Moore.
Shout out to Mike Moore. Another legend for Baltimore right now. He's everywhere playing with Ty Dolla $ign everywhere.
Killing it.
Shout out to Mike.
It was Mike Moore.
Morgan too, right?
Morgan. Danny played with Steve. Danny.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. Who else? Sean Walters. He came on a little after, a little
Really?
later.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sean
Walters played with Steve McCoy.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah. Sean Walters. And then who else? I'm forgetting some. I'm forgetting some. Forgive me, but
Was it Snoop, the percussion player?
Snoop. Yep.
Yeah, I remember Snoop.
Yep. Snoop was playing percussion. Who else? Steve that like during the time I was playing with, it was a lot of musicians that was kind of coming in, but Steve, like when it like because he posted some I think it was like last week, because somebody posted, Jabari posted on his Facebook. He said he was like, yeah man, DMV got some of the greatest BGVs, whatever. Steve clarified, he was like, yeah, so yeah, I was a part of that.
Yeah, 100%.
So between him, and Kevin Terry, well him and
Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy.
Shout out to Jimmy and Stems.
Jimmy Johnson. Shout out to Jimmy.
But just and it's not like trying to give somebody credit over others. But
no, right.
Steve paved the way for a lot of.
And I think Jimmy would tell you that as well.
Yeah, for
absolutely,
sure,
yeah,
for sure. And I attribute a lot of my approach and a lot that has happened in my career, even when it comes to songwriting, arranging vocals and things like that. Like I used to watch Steve in rehearsal, just literally like iron out vocals and just watch his creative flow go, whatever. So shout out to Steve, man.
So I felt like somewhere along those lines, playing with Steve and traveling, that you met Amos St. John.
Before Amos, it was I linked up with KP. Kevin Pridgeon.
Because you did some production. You did production with Jessica Green.
Jessica Green.
So let's thank you. Let's go there first.
Yep.
So linking up with KP, producing and arranging, making tracks for Jessica Green. How was that process? Because you were still young there too.
Yeah, still young.
You were 18, 17?
All this happened between 14 and 18 for
Crazy.
Sure. All of that.
So being in the studio at that time, working on records with an artist, like how was that process? Working with Jessica, working with KP.
Man, it was an amazing, like, just even with KP, like watching him, produce Jessica, watching him bring in, KP always knew how to put the right talent behind a record. And around the time she did that first record where she won a Stella off of.
Mm-hmm.
That the song I've recently just listened to it. The song "Searching,"
mm-hmm.
Aaron Spears.
I've been searching. Yep.
So he would play that. He was playing that for us, and I'm just like, yo, what? He was like, yeah, I got Earn on this joint, and I'm listening. I'm like, yo, what is this? And then he put me on the ballot, because that's when I was like kind of like really trying to find myself in my keys playing, or whatever.
I know the ballad you're talking about. I want you to say which ballad you're talking about.
You talking about I Pray?
Yep.
And it was crazy. To this day, I really do not like how I sound on that song.
Yeah.
But like people, like but I mean the impact is what it is.
People were studying that record.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Shout out to KP. He gave me one of my first opportunities, in the studio to play for play for an artist that was really, on the rise.
You said something that was really good. I don't know if you know. You said KP, he had a gift for just picking out the right talent, right? That's what you just said.
KP's a producer, bro.
And I think that from your relationship and forming that, you had that same gift because I've seen your band start with. I think the very first session we did was Jordan played bass and Jordan Hunter played drums.
When Vernon played bass.
No,
Jordan.
no, he did not.
You're right. Oh my God.
No, he did
You're
not.
right. Jordan.
That was the first session
Jordan
we had.
Parks.
Yes, it was just at the radio. Jordan Hunter, yourself,
Man.
and Jordan Parks, and we were working out running, which is I still love running to this day. Um, Going back to that, like I said, you said KP just has like a knack for picking out talent. I don't know if you know, but you do too, because you've introduced me to so many musicians who I never would have known or heard of because of you. I remember when you introduced me to Ray, you said, man, I got a new dude coming today playing drums. His name Ray. And I'm just like, in my mind, it's like, when you meet somebody, you don't want to meet anybody new. It's like,
Yeah.
I see how their personality is, if they're cool, if they're high. And I was like, okay. And Ray sat down and played. I was like, we don't just know how to play. You just know talent. And it's the same thing. I remember the first time you told me about Brandon Watts. Like, honestly, I think because I'm guessing because Brandon's not from Baltimore, I didn't know who Brandon was. And you're like, man, this cat Brandon Watts, but like, man, his tone. You always talk about Brandon's tone. His tone's crazy.
Yeah,
and still to this day, Brandon's tone is amazing. Shout out to Brandon, not
Shout
just
out
a
to
guitar
Brandon
player,
Watts,
but amazing
bro.
producer, songwriter as well.
Yeah.
But you have a knack for picking out talent. Where did do you kind of attribute that to KP as well? Like seeing him over, like just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna use this person for this, use this person for that. Because I see even with Twan, I seen you do the same thing like with Twan.
Yeah.
Or is that something you never thought about until now?
Honestly, like I'll say this. Everybody that I've worked with, I've never played with a band that was like trash.
Right.
So I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is, everybody that I've ever like played with, from first time I started playing with groups and things like that till now, or to then, um, whoever the artist was or whoever the person was over that they picked the right cats out, and I kind of attribute it to everybody that I work with. And then also you gotta also understand like what you're going for, because the band that I put together for Will Mcmillan stuff ain't wouldn't necessarily be the band that I put together for an artist I may be producing or a church band or whatever. So you gotta also understand like what the assignment is. You know
That's
what I'm
very
saying?
interesting because
Yeah.
that parallel, that's a hard hat to wear
Yeah.
because people, let's just say, Will and Bam, we're working together for 7, 8 years, and then you get a call to produce something for. Um, I apologize. I don't know a lot of gospel artists. I'm not trying to be funny, but
Yeah.
anybody.
Todd Delaney.
Yes, Todd Delaney.
Yeah.
I feel like some of your counterparts would say like, they be like this, they waiting on the phone, like you about to hit me. Because we have this relationship and we built this like brotherhood musicianship. But like you just said before, I love playing with you for my stuff, but this artist and this gig and this arena requires something different. So how do you navigate that? Because we all human, everybody else, all of us have feelings. So it's kind of like you have to do the right job and pick the right person. You can't just say, "This my guy, I'm gonna pick this person." And like, hey, they're great for this, but this music is a little bit more expressive, and they won't necessarily fit in here. How do you manage that? Because it's a hard thing to manage.
Yeah, it is. I think the one thing that has worked in my favor is that through all of, bro, I attribute it to, everything that has happened in my career, even me putting bands together for like artists and things like that. All right, so I know you're gonna get into this later, so I'm not gonna jump too far. But I've been able to adapt to whoever I'm playing for whatever their need is. So if I have that understanding of what that artist specifically needs, then the people that I put around them are there to aid that specific sound and need. I'm not gonna, and also, around the time when I first started Will and Band, I had certain people playing certain parts, and they were strong at those parts, but that was for what my sound needed at the time. My sound has now evolved
Yeah.
over time. So, the personality has, changed.
Right.
So you just gotta understand, like, understand like what season you're in. You gotta understand, what the need is for that specific season, and also not. And this is for the person who is getting the call or giving the call. It ain't nothing personal.
Right.
It ain't nothing personal. I mean, a relationship, don't mess up the relationship over opportunity, anything like that. But just because I don't call you for a certain artist, don't mean we're not cool,
Right.
or we haven't done great things together, or we won't do great things together.
Right.
This artist needs this specific thing.
Or this album that I'm working on.
Yeah.
For myself.
Yeah.
Needs a different
Like
sound.
my record that I'm working on now, I'm using. I mean, the bulk of it I'm using. Pretty much like, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm using different musicians for this record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's just what it is. But that's what this album requires, because I'm
Right.
I'm evolving, and I'm also like my story that like that record that I put out before. I'm a whole nother person now.
Right.
That was 2018. It's 2025.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's gotta know the season you're in, and know know what you're like, have a real understanding of where you are.
And I think some things that we have to think about and consider is wearing that producer hat is a very hard hat to wear, because if I make a decision solely based off of we're cool, or I feel like, you know what, I owe him this one, I pay the ultimate price
Yeah.
when the artist is talking to me. I pay the ultimate price when it comes down to mixing and things aren't translating.
Bro.
So it's like now it's kind of like if I would have did the right thing from the beginning, I wouldn't be paying these prices now. So people have to think about that as well. You got to think about the finish line. If there's something that you know that not only you can't play it, or like you're not familiar with the style of music that we're playing, you got to kind of be cognizant of that, like that this person pays the price at the end.
I don't know if you remember, I'm not gonna say the artist's name, but I was producing a song for a specific artist, and we had to keep coming back to do a specific to cut a certain specific instrument
Yep.
over and over and over until it was right. That was a price, and you spoke to it, because I in in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna let my little homie play on this song or whatever, and it's gonna be dope, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But the artist got in it, like, no, like,
Mm-hmm.
wait, no, like,
And you paying the price.
I'm paying. I'm
Literally paying the price.
literally paying the
Yes.
price.
Yeah.
Because it's like the artist paid me, I paid the musician, whatever. Now I got it. It's just
Not just the price, but then the schedules. Like, hey, they want you to do this. Like, when you're free.
Yep.
I get off. I was like,
Yep.
I was like, hey, when you have it, when turnaround time, when turnaround time. So it's like I said, that producer hat is a very hard hat to wear, because it sounds harsh, but you can't think about people's feelings, because think about people's feelings, you're going to negatively impact the record.
Yeah.
I had a similar situation with well-known artists who were playing here, and I'll say the instrument because nobody knows. It was a drummer, and we had to come back and come back and come back, and the artist and the performer were really, 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 really tight. So that dynamic I'm watching in real time is like the artists are like, hey, we probably gonna have to find somebody. It's a hard conversation to have, because again, all of us are sensitive, different levels, but we're all sensitive. So
you spare a lot of feelings by just making the right call in the beginning.
Yes, 100%.
And even if you have to have a conversation with whoever, may, and that's another thing, like, cats are a little too entitled, like, just because we cool don't mean that I have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, just like, you have, we both got children. We're not just going to entrust any babysitter to watch our kids, bro.
No.
This is my baby.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with a production. Anybody's record that I'm producing, I tell all of the artists that I work with, I take on this record as if it's my own. So it's your baby, but it's also my baby. It's something that you've entrusted me with. So I'm not gonna just entrust anybody with that. It's like, and you gotta be mature enough to understand that.
Yep, I agree. So,
yeah.
Amos St. John.
Yes.
I think when you met, this is from the outside looking in, I think when you initially met Amos St. John, a lot of things changed for you musically. Is that assumption correct?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Amos changed everything for me, bro.
Wow.
So I was playing with shout out to my cousin James. He had a group called Three Wise, and I was they were working out of the same studio. Him and Amos very close at the time, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying this or not, but it is what it is. They were playing some of Amos's music
Okay.
for me. And I don't know if it was out or it might have been out. I don't know. But I was like, yo, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
It was playing Amos' first record that
Is that new season or before new season?
no, that was new scene. I think it was called the actual record was called something though. It's like something volume 1.
I know you're talking about. Is that the one with the cover on him playing piano?
Yeah, he was playing piano, black and white.
Yep.
I want to call it Journey. I think it's Journey. Anyway, it's something. But literally top I'm gonna say top 5 to be nice. Top 5 records that ever come out of Baltimore. Yo. They played that and I was like, yo, and so my cousin was like, oh, well, you like that, don't you? Like you really like you, because they already know like that's the it was a language that was spoke that like really resonated with me or whatever. And they were like, I could tell this is just, and I don't know how I got introduced to Amos. I don't know how it happened. I think it may have been my cousin.
Okay.
But I linked up with Amos, and Amos introduced me to Bruce Hornsby. And he gave me this CD. He's gonna laugh when he sees this. But he gave me this CD. It was all these different tunes. It was all these different tunes on there. It wasn't Bruce Hornsby. It had some Yellow Jackets. It had some that country guitar guy. What's his name? I forgot his name. Anyway.
Okay.
It was all these different tunes on there, and I was studying that. And then he introduced me to House in One Days by Bruce Hornsby, and he introduced me to Yellow Jackets, and just like all these different things. And then I was traveling and playing organ behind him. And
oh wow.
Yeah, I played for Amos for some time, for some years. Actually, I played on his second album.
Okay.
But man.
Now, did you guys get a chance to sit down and like go over things as well?
Amos would definitely sit down and
wow.
And I wouldn't say he necessarily like showed me anything, but I can't say any musician really sat down and like showed me this is what you play. But
see, that's a big misconception. I'm gonna tell you that.
Really?
A lot of people, I'm gonna tell you, I have to be honest, so I apologize in advance. A lot of people say, man, Will's so blessed, he's so lucky, man. These guys, man, he had this person sat down and just showed himself over. Like in our town, it's a big misconception that people just think you were afforded, hey, this A major 7, okay, lower it, this A 7.
Oh no. No.
See, I had to
no, listen, but this is the thing. Now I will say Steve did show me some chops. He did show is this chop that I do to this day that but I'm not a chop guy though. That's like not my thing. I mean I could do it, but that's not like my like go-to. Mm-hmm. I would say Steve did show me chops, but as far as like showing me what to play and how to play and the nuances, and nobody has sat down and like showed me how to play. Now, in the very beginning, I will say my cousin Tabitha Pearson, you know who that is?
Yeah, Lee Pearson's sister.
Yeah, Tabitha Pearson. She did show me a song. I will say that. My cousin James, he did show me a song when I was like in my very beginning. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't developing. I was trying to figure out like what this was. But as far as the core of who I am.
So a lot of this is you doing your homework.
Me doing my homework and me watching. I watch and I study these guys.
And I think a lot of times when people were kind of envious of you, let's be honest, there were some musicians who were, and we don't want to do the name call, but there were some musicians who were envious of you. And I tell people all the time, is like, if you're not doing the work, mm-hmm. you're always going to lose because you were actually doing the work.
Yeah.
You were knowing how to make minor chords. Okay, this raising the fifth, that makes it augmented. Okay, to add the seventh, that gives me that sound.
Bro.
You were actually doing the work. So it's not like, hey, I met Steve, I met Amos, and they like, hey, these are your scales. You're like, no. They're seeing the work you put in, now they want to invest in you more. because they don't have to spoon feed you like a child. Is that a fair assessment?
And I'll take yes, and I'll take it a step further. Every artist that I played for, from Steve to the other artists that we're gonna talk about, I had their records and I practiced their records before I ever played with them. Before I met Steve, at Kicking It With the King, I bought Striving to Struggle.
Classic record.
I went and bought that record and played it and tried to learn before I even knew I was gonna be playing with him. Same thing with Amos. Record came out, I'm like, yo, I studied all that. I feel the fire burning inside of me, all that. And I'm gonna even give you a fun fact about that specific song and what that has done. But yeah, I was already kind of studying. So it's like people, I don't want to say the word manifest because it's a loose word that people use.
Yeah.
But in the sense, it's like God kind of saw. He kind of, it's like you can't expect to do something unless you put out. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like we were talking about earlier, just like making that first step.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I was studying and I was like learning these songs, and I ended up playing for the artist that was that.
I just wanted you to know that though.
Yeah.
I really wanted you to know that.
No, it was I was studying and then it happened to, so when I started working with these guys, it seemed seamless because I already had an idea of or I was already speaking the language. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, like playing with them more and working and traveling with them more, I was able to like really obtain a lot more. But yeah, it wasn't. Hey, Will, now play this chord, unless I just really needed to know a specific part of a song that I wasn't getting or whatever, which was rare. But yeah.
So, what would you say that Amos helped add to, like, let's say your bag?
Amos added to everybody's bag.
A lot of those clashes you hear people doing,
man, like those cluster chords, just like the sound of worship in the gospel world that you hear today. I truly believe that was birthed from Amos St. John being who he is.
He said it. I ain't gonna get mad at me. He said it, and I agree with him.
I attribute a lot, even me stepping into artistry, playing playing the keys and singing and the whole nine, and man.
Even then, that's where I initially found out about Sean Walters. Sean has that same language as well.
Yeah.
It's like of course he has his own personality and sound, but he has that same language as Amos as well.
Yeah,
very different approach.
We play with Amos. We play with Amos together too.
You and Sean Walters at the same time?
Yep. If you look on YouTube, the Tell the World video, Sean is on there. Oh yeah. Shout out to Ross.
Was it Greg or Mike at the time playing?
It was when I was playing with Amos. Actually, it was Devin Webster. When I first started playing with Amos, it was Devin.
Wow.
It was Devin and then Greg. So they would switch. And then Danny was on.
Mike was there too, though. I remember Mike playing with Dreads. I don't know what time.
That was before. I think that was before me.
That's before you.
No, Mike. That was before me.
Okay.
That was before me, and Mike played on the record.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike played on the record.
Gotcha.
But Devin was playing. And then Greg, Ross was on bass. Shout out to Ross.
Ross is different.
And and Kenny Kohouse was on guitar.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. But Amos changed it for everybody.
Now I want to say for a while he was playing with John as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're coming up and you're seeing Kenny on organ, you're seeing Justin play piano, you're seeing Amos doing all the pad and auxiliary work. What is your mind frame kind of like seeing all of that at one time?
It was another case of I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that.
I feel like that lineup is kind of forgotten about as well. That Kenny on organ, Justin on keys, and Amos on aux. I wish we got a chance to see that more. I'm pretty sure there was some inner workings parts that's none of my business. I don't like it. I mean, I don't care to dive into that, but I wish we could have got a chance to see that more because I think Amos added an element that was really, really different.
Yo, um, the record right now, praise. And I'm not the type of guy that I'll give my city accolades that they don't deserve.
Yeah.
I'm not that. I don't have time.
Hmm.
I don't have time. I don't even have the bandwidth to even say certain things and it not be true.
Right.
Right now, praise changed gospel music, bro.
And it's still Johnny's highest selling record. The last time I checked, which was recently, it's still his highest selling record right now in praise.
Right now, praise. Yo, I remember being in high school, like listening, and they recorded that in 2006.
I want to say it's a long time ago.
I was like, yo, this is different, man. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I wanted to play for Jonathan Nelson when I was like in I say like ninth grade.
You and every other person who was playing, young
Oh,
person playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody did.
Yeah. Facts. We all wanted to play. We all wanted to play Jonathan Nelson. We all wanted to play for Jonathan Nelson. I actually got an opportunity to when I think I was in 10th grade. Kenny called me. And they were going to North Carolina. It was on a school night. And I was like, oh my God, I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my father, man. I called my dad. I said, Dad, can I go? It was on Wednesday night. He said, no, you got school in the morning. I said, Dad, this is Jonathan Nelson.
Right.
He said, one day you gonna get that same opportunity.
In the moment, you was probably like this. Are you nuts?
I'm like, yo, you get this only one time, once in a lifetime.
This is Jonathan Nelson. I am healed. Everything you want. You know these songs, right?
It's crazy because my mother so around the time when they put the first record out, my mother was still living, and she bought Jonathan Nelson's record for me, and I would play that like
That's Everything You Are.
Yeah, Everything You Are, and I was a change gonna come, of course Healed, Up Away, bro.
Very Broadway, very ahead of his time.
Yeah. So when they did Right Now Praise, I'm just like, yo, this combination of musicians, Kenny, Justin, Adam, Mike Reid.
Yeah.
I think
Amos.
Amos. I forgot. I don't know if it was Joy Wolfolk on guitar.
I don't remember. I think you're right though. I don't remember. I think you're right.
I know Mohorns was on there. It was just different, man.
Okay. Yeah. So listening to those records, and everyone knows you're an awesome piano player. So listen to records and you're hearing Justin Savage. First time hearing Justin Savage, before you even met him, just first time hearing his approach. What's going through your mind? Why are you doing that?
Yo, because it's so much history in this city of ours, yo.
And before you answer this question, I want you to answer it as 17, 18-year-old Will. First time hearing Justin Savage, and you listen to these records.
First time hearing Justin was actually live. It was live. I feel like I was playing. No. First time hearing. Oh, it's okay. I'm lying. First time hearing Justin, yes, it was on Everything You Are record.
Okay.
And I was like, I wanna play like that.
No.
I wanna.
You hear Manifest?
You got Manifest. You got Up Away. You got what's that song? I gave the Lord my life, shining on you. In the Book of Life.
In the book, yeah.
Just that intro.
Young Savage, Young Justin.
Arpeggio. Like, I'm just like, yo. And it was a thing around. People used to clown me. They used to call me like, call me Lil Justin.
I remember.
I was trying to,
I remember.
You trying to play like. I'm like, bro, listen. And it wasn't me trying to mimic him. I was just so inspired.
I'm inspired.
I was
Like,
to this day.
yeah.
I listen to everything you are, and this ain't a glazing session. It ain't it's respect on on both sides.
Absolutely.
I got mad respect just for everybody that I've ever looked up to. And this, same. But I'm talking about like, yeah, man. I like people were comparing us, saying like, Will, you little Justin, you. But I'm like no, like I'm not trying to mimic him. I'm inspired by him.
I'm inspired and influenced by his playing as well. Because it's the same thing when we heard Searching. Everybody was trying to play like Aaron Spears too. Because you were inspired. Okay, I'm gonna take this and put my spin on it. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, man. But Justin has made and it's crazy because hearing him, play on records, but then later kind of getting to like work with him on a more personal level, because he hired me at Mount Eden. I played there for like 5 years.
How was the experience? Like now, seeing someone that you respected and admired, now we're working together. How's that experience?
Justin, watching him like actually play and just how he just puts songs together, like in like from his mind to the keyboard, like it really should be studied, bro. Like Justin is a piano player.
100%.
He's a piano.
Everyone says that.
Piano player. And one of the things he instilled, in me was, I had a lot of traditional in me, but a lot of what he instilled in me was, playing things like the right way. I used to play super timid, just cause I went from being, okay, this is really what happened. I went from being like super expressive in my teens, just doing whatever I want. It was like my,
I remember.
And then it went from that to, it was some rumors that, some people were saying that I was busy. And so it made me kind of shut down a little bit.
Okay.
And so, by the time I got to Mount Eden, I was really just kind of play it safe or whatever. But, Justin, in a lot of ways kind of helped bring that, back out of me. And just kind of watching him, like how he approached. I mean, it didn't matter what song it was. I enjoy him most on playing like older songs, like those old like Baptist like hymns. Cause he plays, even if it's not what's on the script, it's very authentic. And he introduced me to, and it's not that I didn't know before, but you think of like the Hawkins, and even how like you like think of like Kevin Bond and like Jason White. I knew of their playing before, but working with Justin helped me understand, like those approaches, on a deeper level, and it's just, I don't know. I'm super grateful for him.
I remember Justin you had a live recording before, right? And I remember Justin, you guys took a picture together, and I remember the caption. He said, "Will has took this minor third thing, dipped it in salt boat." And how did it feel? Because you can admire somebody so much, but for somebody to publicly give you your flowers, how did that feel? Seeing somebody who dude has won Stellars, Double. How does that feel to see somebody I played with, we got history, we worked together, giving my flowers publicly? It's one thing to send somebody a text like, "Hey man," but how does that feel to get that love like that?
Honestly, it was cool. We had like a minor conversation, even at the recording. And he was just, he shared some things with me, and I shared some things with him. But it was almost like that moment of like, I went from like somebody that he like kind of seen, like look up to him, like, to, oh, well, bro, you here now?
Yeah, I can see that.
It was definitely that, and him being able to even pour into me in that moment. I think he prayed for me in that moment.
Yeah, he did. I remember. Yeah.
It was just a blessing, because very very seldom do you you see people have that interaction with somebody that they consider a hero.
That's
Like,
why I
bro,
said it, yeah.
like,
And do it publicly.
and publicly, and not care that it's public.
Yeah.
It didn't even feel like it was public. It
Yeah.
was just like a moment that we were able to have. And man, like that dude has made a huge and I don't care. I don't care. Like I don't ever shy of saying that.
Absolutely.
Saying that. So
I think it's important to let people know who has helped all of us along our journey, how we feel about them and how they had contributed to our life while they're here.
for sure.
Because like we spoke about earlier, like we think every day God's gonna give us a new level of mercy and grace every day, but sometimes you don't. You don't know. So it's important for I know he knows the love that you have for him, and same thing vice versa. I think it's good to see. We talked about Right Now in Praise, and I'm pretty sure that was the last record that Justin played with Johnny. So from there, you stepped in that seat, started traveling with Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the traveling. How was it just traveling all around the world with Jonathan Nelson at the time? You were young too.
Yeah. So this was around the time when he was still in Empowerment Temple. And I was I might have been like 18, or might have been like 19, something like that. But he met my so I told him, he reached out, and I told him, yeah, for sure. I think we talked on MySpace.
Crazy.
We talked on MySpace. Exchange information. He met me at Empowerment. He met my dad at Empowerment because I told him, I said, hey, so you gotta talk to my dad. And then my dad had that conversation. I don't really know what they talked about,
Right.
but my dad was like, yeah, no, I like him. I think it'd be good. And Jonathan introduced me to a world of traveling that I'm just like, it opened up so much for me, man.
And that was sorry to cut you off, but that was your full circle moment because your dad told you you will be afforded this opportunity again. Carry on.
And it came.
Yeah.
That's what I said. But before that, I was already playing Right Now Praise and shedding to it. Me, Tyrae, Vernon, Jordan, we will all go to the Beacon. Shout out to, God rest his soul, our brother Ethan Clark.
Yes, absolutely.
We would be over there, shedding, that kind of thing. So this was before I got the car. So when I finally got the car, I was ready. I knew that record off the back of my hand. But it was a blessing, man. Jonathan Nelson, man. Jonathan Nelson really believed in me. To this day, still.
And just, like you said, at an early age, just seeing someone's gift take them all across the world. What does that do to your psyche at that time, seeing that? Because it's one thing to be popular in your hometown, but it's another thing when we in Nashville here, we Texas, we in Detroit, like.
Man, listen. So we would do different dates and things like that, and I mean, God would move and all that. But I would literally this would made me look at Jonathan and really really respect him even more. When it came to like signing CDs and taking pictures, he did not rob anybody of having that experience with him. He'd be out there. He would take as many pictures as as people wanted.
Wow.
and not complain about it. And that was my first time seeing someone like in that instance where they were like they had like fans, because I would travel, the people that I was playing with before, it was more like kind of like local stuff.
Yeah,
it was like kind of like fam, and nothing against that, but
Right.
it was just another level.
It's a different level, yeah.
And I was his MD on the road, but I was also his armor bearer. So like,
Right.
I was making sure he was good, all those things or whatever. But I got to really just kind of see like the impact of like someone in what God has put them on this earth to do, and I would see how it like showed up with like how people responded to them. Like it was just another level, and it opened me up to like man, there's a whole nother world outside of Baltimore. Like
Yes.
it really is. So
So you're doing the traveling with Jonathan Nelson, like I said. You also, like you said, being his armor bearer, making sure everything's in place. Now, a lot of times musicians think like, okay, I put my time in, I'm traveling. a recording's coming. I know I'm going to get that call. So you actually got that call to do a recording. So being a part of that recording process, and these are live records, well, these aren't studio records. You got one time to play this right. So being in the recordings, the rehearsals leading up to that, seeing Johnny kind of navigate everything, how was that experience?
If I'm honest, I and it was told to me that I wasn't even supposed to do that the first record that I played on.
Really?
It was told to me that I wasn't going. And thing is, I didn't feel entitled, but I really wanted to.
That's what I just said. That it's like you just think, oh, hey, I've been traveling with him for the last 7 years playing mains. You ever doing recording? Of course I'm playing.
Yeah.
You just think it's like it's what we said earlier. It's a no-brainer.
I think I traveled with him for like 2 years. And then that's when he was talking about recording again. And I think Adam. This is how I found out. Adam asked me. He's like, yeah, did you get the email about the recording, whatever? I was like, what you talking about? He was like, oh. And then I don't know. I forgot who told me that I wasn't supposed to be a part of it. But man.
So you're saying Adam was saying, hey, we get ready to start recording. Did you get the email?
Yeah, because I think he thought that I was,
right. Like everyone else, he probably thought. So, but then you're saying somebody else was like, you weren't supposed to be on here.
Yes.
Okay.
From what I remember, it was so long ago. I was playing Mount Eden at the time. We were leaving rehearsal, and I got in the car. I cried, bro. I cried because it wasn't that I thought I was entitled. It wasn't that I had entitlement, but I just knew that it was gonna happen. And then Jonathan called me about a few days later and was like, "Hey, so we're gonna have you." He's like, I was talking to Kenny, and that's when Aaron Lindsay,
I remember,
he was producing it. He was like, I had a good conversation with Aaron Lindsay, and he's like, I think you're ready for it. He's like, something about your sound, and he was like, there's a specific, a few songs that I would just like to hear you on or whatever.
This is Paris played auxiliary on that project too, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Paris.
Shout out to Paris, man. Shout out to Paris. But he called me and told me that, and I just told him, I'm like, hey, I'm ready. And here we are.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So
I think it was Jonathan's decision, which he wanted me there,
right.
And I was just like, he gave me those opportunities, not all, because he believed in me, but
when you earned it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody, I think everyone
I was able to on the road, we was able to develop a dynamic, and I understood the language, that kind of thing. And he trusted me. So
I think the fact that, like you just said, Adam was kind of like, oh, like, you ready? We better start. That lets you know that you earned it, because those guys, they're a stickler for about every single thing. So you're doing a recording with Jonathan Nelson. You've been forming all of these relationships, and you're used to seeing Justin sit in that seat. The world is used to seeing Justin sit in that seat. Is that something that you think about, like, man, like my hero is usually playing this, so it's kind of like, does that mess with your psyche a little bit, or it's kind of like, I'm here, like, or do you feel like, why isn't he playing? Like, am I, like, you know what I mean? Like you just said, am I the main call? I heard somebody say X, Y, Z. Does that bother you, or your mind doesn't even go those places?
I mean, at the time, I really just wanted to do good. Honestly, I just wanted to do good. I was in my head a lot. I was nervous. I was so
really.
Man, if you look at the video,
no, it's funny you say that. I've seen the videos. You don't look nervous at all.
Yo, when we get done with the interview, I'm gonna show you, because I was like, my face and my hands was here, and I would like look up, bro. It's cringy. Like, if you listen to it, I don't sound nervous.
No,
but
your face, you most got like a poker face.
Yeah, for sure. And if you know how I play now, I don't play with a poker face.
Okay.
I'm super expressive, so, but I just wanted to do well. And although I played keys on a few songs, I didn't necessarily sit in Justin's seat, because Justin was more on the producer side.
Okay.
So I also knew my assignment. I was supposed to play these few songs right. While I was on the keys, and I played organ, for the majority of it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the thought is like, the thought did come, like, man, you are coming behind, some great, because Amos wasn't on that record either, so. Like, you come behind some, great musicians, and I'm 19, by the way. 19 years old, bro. And it's like, yeah, you gotta bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Justin even shared some words with me that kind of put some pressure on me, put some pressure on me too. And I'm like, yo, I just wanna do good. I just wanna do good. So I'm Adam. Oh my God, Adam too. Like they. There's no secret in this area that they are hard on, which is in a lot of ways is needed. And I took it for what it was, and was like, all right, cool, we here.
Right.
So
So you're playing a recording. You're getting a chance to play with Kenny Shelton, who we all love and respect. Amazing body of work. How was that playing with Kenny? Like you said, we used to seeing Kenny and Justin, and like you know what I mean. Like now, I get my chance to leave my mark with Kenny. Like, how was that experience? Like learning from him, watching him produce. You know what I mean? Putting the whole song together. Like, how was that?
man, Kenny is, and I feel like I'm saying this about all of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of who I am creatively, like, Kenny like set the blueprint for that, yo.
Really?
What, man? Kenny is. I feel like I'm saying it about all of them. Justin, Amos, Kenny, like if you put all three of those guys together, you know, amongst other influences, they have in a way like helped me morph into like who I am,
Mm-hmm.
as a just when it comes to like keys, like
What do you think what's so special? People always talk about Kenny. What do you think is so special about Kenny?
Kenny is gifted, bro. It's one thing to have talent, it's one thing to um I feel like you work for talent. I feel like you work to be good at what you do. Kenny Kenny's gift is God given, yo.
Mm.
Like like hearing Kenny express on whatever instrument, on production, whatever the case is, like you know that God is there. Like you know that God gave him that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like just his genius and how he puts chords with melody together, the way he thinks, and on top of that, his heart. Kenny has one of the most amazing hearts, and we say things like you don't gotta be like that because you talented, but it's like no, like that's kind of like how you should be, but like just Kenny embodies like what what a musician with a God given gift should be for sure.
That's amazing, man. And just put out another great body of work with Jonathan as well. So I think that
Yes,
just speaks to their tenure and
yes,
everything they've been doing over the years and then consecutively putting out great bodies of work. Um, we spoke about Mount Eden earlier, playing with Justin. So not only were you playing with Justin Savage at the time, you're also playing with Adam Johnson.
hmm
So you're playing with Justin, you're playing with Adam, guys who are like attention to detail kind of guys, super intricate. Like, how was that playing with Adam? Like, how did the brotherhood come, knowing them, form a relationship, and playing with him as well?
Man, Adam took me in. Adam was one that took me in even before I started gigging like super heavy. I say like around the time I was like playing with Amos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I, it was really Adam and Mike. Like they saw me playing somewhere for Steve, and they like, yo, look, who this young? It was always like, yo, who this young dude or whatever. I connected with Adam, and I would go to Adam's house, and Adam introduced me to like just all different kinds of music. He also, cause around that time, like 2006, 2007, we was all like wearing like real big clothes and
Mm-hmm.
like it was trying to be hard or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
Adam told me, he asked me like, yo, do you read books? I'm like, nah, I don't. Basically, he was like, yo, that's corny, yo. Like, why don't you,
That's Adam.
like
Yeah.
Adam.
Yep. That's Adam.
He's
That's
like,
my
yo,
yeah.
you need to be reading a book a week, you know. And I'm not even gonna say that I'm reading a book a week now. I'm reading more like a book a month. But like, he's like, yo, like you need to like, bro, like why you dressed like that? Yo, put on the button. That's when button ups was starting to kind of like, yo, put on the button up, bro. Like, it was like life stuff that Adam was like,
He was trying to get that Park Heights out you.
yo. And I don't even know if he realized, like, and then on top of that, like, telling me, like, bro, like, you know, like, so what's your relationship with God? Like, you read your word, like, you know, you like really kind of putting those, although I knew I was supposed to do those things,
Yeah.
but I looked up to Adam so much, it was different. Those things coming from a big, from a big brother. Like,
Yes.
and so I started, because I had dreads around the time. Man, I changed. Man, it was really because of Adam Johnson. I'm telling you.
See, now when you cut your dread, people say, I've heard plenty of people say, see, he cut his dreads because Justin cut his dreads.
No.
See?
No.
We're gonna dispel that.
There's no. So I cut my dreads because it wasn't even because of Adam, but it was more so because I was just changing my life. But Adam had a lot to do with me changing, like, literally, like, just minor things in my life. And then I ended up cutting my hair, and then a year later, Justin called me to play at Mount Enon. And then, my dad was joking. He said, "Man, you cut your hair and got you a real job," like. But
So-
at Mount Enon, I got Mount Enon was my first salary job.
Mhm.
My first salary job, and they had like a little benefits or whatever. I was making $40,000 a year, bro.
And young as crap too.
Like 19, it was
During that time, too,
18,
yes,
making
yeah.
40,000. That was
Yeah.
big, yo. So
100%.
but I attribute a lot of that to Adam telling, like, yo, switch it up. Like be a professional. Like, show
So-
up on time. I would, I'd go to get the rehearsal late. They'd lean on me.
Mhm.
Like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
I think we need more of that now too,
Yeah.
because this generation now is like you can't say anything.
oh my God.
Like, so
bro.
I think we need more of that now. I think a lot of people, it's just like no secret. You can say what you want about Justin and the Adams and the Mikes, and even for Kenny, for people like, but they really held you accountable.
Yeah.
If they cared about you, they held
Yeah.
you accountable.
Yep.
So it seems like Adam helped facilitate the change between Little Mac
Yeah,
to
to
Will.
Will.
To
Yeah,
Will.
for sure. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
Will. By the time I was Lil Mac until I start working at Mount Enon. It was I was Will.
Mm.
I was Will. And like even then, like, Justin used to tell me, like, bro, there's a certain swagger that you have to, like, the way you play, you gotta be sure.
Mhm.
And like, yo, like, don't be afraid to mess up. Like, if you mess up, giving it your all, that kind of thing. But yeah, like, it was that deposit from those guys to where I've found myself in rooms that I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, how did I get here?
Oh wow.
And people are looking at me, respecting me. So
So
shout
we've
out
been
to those
talking
guys.
about Jonathan and his band a lot. But when Jason when he came out as an artist, because we know Jason from playing bass, amazing bass player, well respected all across the world. But when Jason started to come out as an artist, and you heard Tyrae Brewer play piano, you heard Tyrae Brewer play piano. What was that like, hearing Tyrae? And have you ever got a chance to have a conversation, sit down, talk to him, share with them, like what, like
I never got the chance. Although I know that's gonna happen. It got to. I never got the chance to sit down and like, share with him or whatever, or even sit down and talk to him. I mean, we friends on Facebook. I'm sure we got each other's number, that kind of thing. He's real close with my cousin Lee.
yeah, I say they travel a lot together,
Yeah.
performing.
But yo, that record, that
I Shall Live.
Ugh, some of the most amazing piano playing I've ever heard, yo, on a gospel record.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah.
Like that whole record he put on the clinic. It was, and I'm sure he was playing it sounded like a motif.
One of the very
8,
first. Yeah.
the ES. It was
Yeah.
probably the ES, yo. It sounded like the grit on there. It sounded like it was an ES.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the way he was playing, I'm like, yo. I was at Sojourn. I was in 10th grade, listening to a fresh anointing from the glory in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, why is And then even to this day, and mind you, he's like 20 something playing this stuff.
And right after that song, Kenny came on.
Oh,
Right. So it's like, slow down.
oh, feel my,
Yeah.
feel my.
Yeah.
Kenny did one move on that. To this day, I still can't figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kenny had to be like 22, 23.
Crazy to think about that.
We studying records from these guys. I'm daggone near 40. I'm 36, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to these records, like, yo, what were they thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Special.
So, talking about that I Shall Live record, and you actually got a chance to produce a record for Jason, All of Me with the Walls group. You like?
Yeah, I ain't produce. I think I just played keys.
You played on that. I think it was, who was that? You, JR.
Me, JR, and Jason was on bass.
He was on bass?
Yeah, Jason was on bass.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, you know what? Vernon came after. You remember that? Vernon? No, Jason did play bass. But Vernon, there's a video of all of us together. Vernon came after.
Vernon's on that record?
No. He was there that day, but he ended up playing a different song after.
Got you.
You remember that drink?
Yes, it was a faster song.
It was like a funk song.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
So, how was the experience just working in the studio with Pastor Jason during that time?
Man, listen, I ain't trying to step on no toes, but before it's all said and done, big bro, I need a whole record with you, man.
I think that'd be crazy.
Before it's all said and done, I need a record with you. I need a full record with you. I don't care if it's live. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. But I need it.
And I want to stop there. The reason why I think that's like paramount, because he is a worshiper at heart, and I think I know you live there.
Yeah,
you live at always
sure.
Like, okay, what deposits can I get new from God? And like I don't know if you remember when Jason and Tyrae, they used to go all around the world just as a two-piece, and like he told me, like, Tyrae on piano, be singing, like, so I think to fast forward now to like our generation to have a record with you two guys with, like, I think that's very, very, like, I think we need that too, because it's different. It's a different sound. And so what do you think, what are some things that you think you can, like, not necessarily add, but just like shape production wise or arrangement wise that he hasn't already had?
I don't really know. I know.
I'll answer it for you.
Okay.
Since you don't,
I don't want to get in trouble.
No. I think what makes you special, and I told you earlier, we speak off camera a lot, is that your sound is just different. When I say that, of course, everyone says that, but I'm like, when we spoke about Julie earlier, I said Julie sounds like she belongs on Broadway. You just have like this Walt Disney worship sound that a lot of people try to mimic, but they don't do all the way. You can tell, like, chord structure or things aren't placed properly. And I think that's something that with your pen and his music brain, because he's also a musician, and your brain, I think that's a beautiful combination. Just because of merging those, even though it's still gospel, but it's merging different layers of gospel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that's why I said you guys together on a project is different, just because of your sound and your approach. You're not going to approach a record like just a regular gospel record.
Oh no. If I'm ever afforded the opportunity, that'd be great. I ain't gonna say too much. 'Cause I don't want to get in trouble. I want to stay. Keep it classy. But no, man. That moment, being in the studio and being able to do that, I didn't even know that what we did that night was gonna be kept. I thought that Jason was trying to get an idea out. I had no clue that was gonna be on it. So he hit me. He hit me because he reached out, texted me. He's like, hey man, because he was trying to like handle business. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, yeah, the song is on the record. I'm like, and then I think you told me, I hit you. I was like, yo, that song.
Yeah, I was mixing.
You was like, yo, I'm mixing it right now. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so that was a shock. I didn't even know that the record was going to be on there. I had no clue. But I got to put that on my scratch it off my bucket list, man. I got to do a song with Jason Nelson. That was pretty big for me.
So going back to Jonathan, he just released a record. We're talking about Kenny, and it's an amazing record. If you don't have it, please go grab that record.
Yes.
Jonathan Nelson.
I'm teaching.
When I think
I'm teaching my young adult choir that like next week. So
dope.
yeah.
As all of us are getting older, I know you said you want to do a record with Jason. Is that something that you want to do with Jonathan as well, like a full record because I feel like it's been layers to that whole process. You had like the Justin and Kenny, and then you had the Justin, Kenny, and Amos. Then right now, I believe it's Kenny and Joe Pryor.
Joe, yeah, shout out to Joe.
Shout out to Joe Pryor as well. Do you feel like, man, I want to add to that discography for Jonathan with something just like new that we probably haven't heard before from him? Is that something that you strive to do as well?
If I'm ever afforded the opportunity. Oh, this is so good to me. Oh man, listen. I would love that opportunity. Jonathan, me and Jonathan wrote a song for his for one of his records. The record Fearless, but the song You Are Good. And Jonathan's pen, man.
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah,
is ridiculous. And it's crazy how we see so much in the musician world, how he's like giving his flowers, but in the musician world, like it was one point where it was just like you would go on IG, see a whole bunch of challenges and musicians like just picking apart his songs or whatever. It's like it's really wild. It was really wild to see, but I really believe that Jonathan is receiving. He's receiving more of his flowers, just that in abroad, and I was actually at that recording that night.
Oh wow,
great, great experience. Jonathan, like, I think what makes Jonathan so special is that like he never he don't try to stray away from his roots. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Hey, if I'm ever afforded the opportunity to,
and the reason why I asked you that, and if you know my heart, you like, of course you know. I'm speaking for the people who are watching this.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like it's a moment in time where everything is kind of elevating. When I say that, we spoke about. I'm kind of reiterating the Kenny and Justin, and then yourself and Kenny, and now Kenny and Joe. So I wonder what a recording would look like with maybe you and Joe and maybe Kenny producing or co-producing. I don't know how that works, but I think it's legacy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see.
It definitely I will say this. I was joking. I get silly. My ADD be taking over sometimes, but I do know it. I do know that is necessary. I would even go as far as to say it's necessary.
Okay.
And it definitely needs to happen if it's able to happen. If it doesn't, it is what it is, and that's fine. But I've been able to experience a lot of I've had a lot of great experiences in my career. I've been able to travel with artists,
We're gonna get into that.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get into that. Yep. Trust me.
And a lot of what was instilled to me, as a Baltimore native, I was able to take abroad, but I was also able to take what I was able to receive abroad, and bring it back. And I feel like that in itself would manifest into something really beautiful. If I had that, if the opportunity was able to come, full circle moment, you're probably about to ask me about this, but I produced a song for Anthony Brown, Group Therapy.
Hold on.
Okay, I got you. Okay, we'll get there. But yeah, I feel like that would be, if that was able to happen, that would be incredible.
So, I left Mike out, and I wanted to ask about Mike Reid separately because it seemed like you guys, from the outside looking in, feel like you guys have a really, really special relationship. Yeah. I remember Mike coming to your sessions fresh off a tour. Yeah. I remember you it seemed like you guys have just a different relationship. Can you talk about that?
Man, I'm actually honored and I'm humbled for the respect that Mike has for me. because my respect for him is just like since I was younger, like I looked up to Mike. Like I'm just like it was his, yeah, of course, like he's literally the one of the best, if not the best, to come out of Baltimore or whatever. And I don't say that term loosely, um, but like he is more so his musicianship that stuck out to me. Like we would be in rehearsals and things like that, and he'll sing a line and he'll say like, "Go to the two here," like Mike is very
Mm-hmm.
super animated. Um, but I just respected his musicianship and just how he thought. So the fact that like Mike, me and Mike, we text and we talk, here and there. Um, the fact that he can even respect anything that I put out or anything that I do, it's just I'm just super honored and humbled. I called him when I was doing the video for Leave It All Behind.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bro, like I just need, because I'm having like it's gonna be like a band scene or whatever, and I was like, bro, like can you do it? He said, bro, what's the date? Send me the date, whatever. And he
Mm.
just came through, just off the street. He ain't asked for no money. It wasn't no like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He just did it just off the strength of our relationship. I just really appreciate that dude. And he's, man, Mike, considering all the things that he's been able to accomplish and do, he's still just one of the most down to earth people,
That's what everyone says.
bro. It's crazy.
Shout out to Mike Reid, man, a
Shout out
legend
to
from
Mike
our
Reid.
city who still paving the way for not just drummers but musicians coming before him. I remember we had a video session a while ago that we did, and I remember Mike telling you, if I recall correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that he was telling you that, man, your music has been helping me so much on the road. Like your music,
Wow.
not the music you're producing for other artists, but your music.
Yeah.
What does it feel like for songs that you have written and producing for yourself that, man, like not only the people all around the world, but my friends, this music is helping my friends. Like, how does that feel? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And for him to say that, honestly, it really brings like light to, because as musicians and artists and creatives, we all go through seasons of like when we're like doubting if this is like it. You know what I mean? Depending on what season you're in, things ain't moving the way, whatever, or if they are moving, and you just kind of get anxious of the high coming to an end at some point. Like it's always like that up and down, thing, that season that we go through. So when people that I look up to, people that I'm close with, when he says those kind of things, it makes me just, it gives me a better understanding. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's amazing.
That's And it's like, yeah, people say like, yeah, you don't need validation. It's not really validation. It's more like confirmation. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And
Well,
I
just
just,
encouraging words from people you respect and admire.
man, it goes, it definitely, it goes a long way. It goes a long way.
I think for a long time, Jordan and I spoke about this, and I'm being honest. I think our city has been waiting for yourself, Jordan Hunter, Tyrae Brown, and Vernon Prout to really start putting together a body of work. I mean, like really start going.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure. I don't want to pull the lid off anything, but I saw a video of the four of you guys together, and it seems like that may be happening.
yeah,
Is my assumption correct there?
yep. We are, we are, we are formulating a production company.
Dope, dope.
Yeah, that's all I got right now.
Long overdue. I can't wait to see it because
Yeah,
let's be honest and let's call a spade a spade. I feel like for a long time, because of because of your individual relationships that you guys have with that Jonathan band, that people are like, okay, these guys are next, and we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see you guys. Okay, y'all playing with this artist. Not, I'm sorry, not this artist, but this project, this session, this recording. They did another one, did another one. Man, now they already have chemistry. Now every time it's just getting better and better and better. So I think that's that. If I can be honest, we're all looking forward to see, including myself. I'm gonna be very transparent with you, man.
yeah. It's time, 'cause we all men. We all got kids. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's time of all of our careers are going forward, at a good pace. And the the word of this season is collaboration. You can't do nothing on your own nowadays.
Facts.
I mean, the nature of even what we're doing
Yeah.
is collaboration. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like that's, and so I'm looking forward to, what we had a couple meetings or whatever, and we just, trying to put some things together and really just trying to do something good, for the city and beyond. So
Dope. So before you took the leap of faith to start to become an artist, you were playing for a lot of artists. So you were playing with Tasha Cobbs before, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was that experience playing with her?
Um, with Tasha, shout out to, actually today. I'm sure this video not gonna drop today, but today's her birthday, so shout out to happy birthday, Tasha.
Happy
I love
birthday.
you, big sis. It was amazing, man. I met her. I met her. When did I meet Tasha? I met her. I feel like I was playing with Jonathan,
Okay.
and she was just like, "Okay, who's that?" And connected with her. First gig with her was actually at Mount Enon.
Wow.
that first gig with her was at Mount Enon, and the second gig we did together. Actually, no, the first gig we did was first gig I did with her was at Morgan State.
Okay.
What's that area where they like do like concerts and stuff at Morgan? What is it called? Murphy Fine Arts, something like that. Anyway,
Okay.
but it was there, and she asked me to put a band together. And who were the first people that I called?
Tyrae,
Tyrae,
Jordan.
Vernon, and
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yep.
That was the first one because I was trying to really, just kind of, I'm like, yo, all right, if I'm on there, I'm trying to bring my boys on. So we did it, whatever. Then I just started traveling with her. Second gig was at at Mount Enon.
Okay.
And then I just started traveling with her everywhere. She took me across the world. I think I traveled with her for like 5 years.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So during them time, I know before you said you were nervous when you were trying to play for people. At this point, have the nerves
Oh
calmed?
yeah, I was in my bag at that
Right.
point.
He said, "I'm here now.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm here.
now."
We good. Yeah, yeah. End up doing her live recording. Yeah, doing her live recording and yeah, just
How was that? Because again, like I said before, it's another thing we do when we're traveling with artists is being entitled. So not only am I traveling, I've been traveling for 5 years. A recording comes up and I'm on it. How does that feel?
honestly, it was more so like it wasn't entitled, but it was like just the expectation. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because it's like when you travel with an artist and y'all develop a specific sound and chemistry, they're gonna want to take that to what they like
It only
produce
makes
for the
sense.
world.
It
You know
only
what I
makes
mean? So
sense.
I played organ on that album.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, it was a blessing.
In that same vein, got a chance to work with William Mcdowell. I believe you guys got a chance to write a song together as well, correct?
Yeah, Sit in the Rain. Yep.
How was that process? Working with him, collaborating with him.
Um, I met William McDowell. I was actually singing at this church, and this is crazy, bro. I was singing at this church in Frederick.
Okay.
The person that asked me to sing was her name. Passed out there. Her name was Donna Scott. We actually got really close around that time. I called her my godmother. Anyway, she prophesied to me a year before and told me, learn William McDowell's whole record because you're gonna end up playing for him. I ended up singing at the same event that he was I ended up opening for him rather.
Okay.
Um and afterwards, same thing. Who is that guy?
Hmm.
and connected with him. And then, ever since, then I think I traveled with him for like 5 years. It's in the rain you asked me about. We were in St. Croix, it's one of the islands, whatever. And we just got finished doing just got finished singing a song, I Give Myself Away.
Hmm.
And it was just like a very somber, kind of moment where nobody was singing anything, but it was just like, God's presence was just like there, like real heavy. And so I started playing the 6-7-1 chord change. And he tells me to keep playing it, keep playing it. So he starts singing, so we will wait on you, no one else would. And from that's how Send the Rain, was birthed through that moment.
So it actually happened in church.
It happened. Yes, it happened in St. Croix. It was at an outside event. Yeah. Yep.
So when you're seeing things like that happen, do you like sometimes like you said we need like reassurance or like not validation, but like just like words of wisdom. Do you see like man, like God really has His hands on me?
Yeah.
Because not only right place, right time, but He's using me and speaking through me. And you play that chord progression, He's like, play that again. Like do you feel like man, like God is using me during this time?
I mean, definitely in hindsight, it's like, man, I say this to musicians everywhere, man. Make sure you keep a open ear. You know what I mean, for what he want to say, for what he want to do. Like the moment is not about you and what you got to show people.
Right.
It's about understanding the assignment and embodying it.
Because if you wasn't tapped in spiritually, and you like, man, it's a moment for me to go crazy. Now this encounter and this song never happens.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you're doing Tasha, you're doing William Mcdowell, like now you end up playing with Travis Green. It's like a blessing after a blessing. Like how did that come? How did that come together?
So William, Tasha, Travis, a lot of those artists were kind of like in the same same kind of circles. And so Travis would come to Williams' conference that he did every year. It was called Habitation. And I met Travis a long time ago, but that was when I like actually got to like play with him or whatever. And I ended up connecting with him around that, and he he hit me. He was like, "Hey man, so some things about to come up, bro. Like, I want you to be a part. Like, talk to whoever you got to talk to, And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm definitely down. So I did a few dates with him. End up doing his session as well.
See, this isn't like I want people to understand that this isn't normal, because just because you're playing with an artist, it doesn't mean that when it's time to do a record that you'll be doing a record, because sometimes that works for on the road.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, yeah, like you said earlier, yeah, we flow, we got chemistry, but I may need this guy who can really, really know how to shift the room.
Yeah.
So it's like this isn't just by happenstance all the time. Like, I've been traveling with so and so for 6 years. 2 years later, doing a record. Oh, I'm going to call Will again. It's like, no, it's something special about you that these artists keep saying. Like, no, I need him a part of this. It's something about his sound. It's something like by the way that it's something about the way that God speaks through His playing.
Yeah.
So, do you attribute that to your prayer life, your relationship with God? Like, what do you attribute that to?
Man, listen, I learned one thing from William McDowell. He told me, he said, there's a difference between an invitation and an assignment. When he said that, it changed my whole life, because people can invite you to do things and want you to do things, but I made up in my mind that I'm not going nowhere or doing anything that God has not already preordained. And so I believe that a lot of my life has shaped up in those ways where favor would kind of like follow me. Not that I didn't have different opportunities, because think about it, I'm playing for like Tasha was the number one artist around that time.
Still is now.
Yeah, no, she's killing
Nothing's
it.
changed.
And the thing is like, but so people would see me travel with her, and I was getting asked to play for different people and the whole nine. I mean, then but I didn't accept everything because it wasn't what I was supposed to do.
I think that's important, especially for younger musicians. I want to stop there for a second because God has you in a place where you're traveling with these artists, and now because of your attachment to them, like you're saying, other artists say, "Hey, I'd love for you to come over here and do this. We having a conference this day. Hey, I'm getting ready to do," and you're like, "No." But to the younger musicians who of this generation who may not have the kind of background information and relationships you have, like, man, there's more money, there's more notoriety, there's more stuff I get to post on Instagram.
Right.
Like, what makes you say no to that? Because like you said before, like, God didn't tell me that yet. God didn't say, Will, you need to be here. Like, let me be faithful of what I have now.
Yeah, it's I'm only going. This is just a principle that I've always kind of had. I'm only going to where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't supposed to be there, then if I end up there, I mess up the process for what that thing is supposed to be.
Right.
And then I put a stop on what God is trying to do in my life. So, um, those opportunities. I mean, mind you, Tasha was doing her Ali conference. All the artists was over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm doing my thing, and people like trying to figure out who I am and all these different things and trying to get me to play, and I just didn't really have interest because it wasn't what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
What I was supposed to do, the things that I was actually assigned to do, it was real impact that happened because I was doing my assignment.
Mm-hmm. So you're playing with Jonathan, you're playing with Tasha, William, Mcdowell, Travis, and then you decide to say, I'm going to focus on myself and become a solo artist. And the rumblings around around our area, and even the world is like, why would he do something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Why would he leave playing with Jonathan Nelson? And I've heard people say this in session, like, man, Will crazy. He's playing with Johnny, he's playing with Tasha, playing for Travis Green, William McDowell, to take a gamble on himself and be a solo artist. Like, one, what made you want to be obedient to God and do that? Because if you don't do that, we don't get Never Get Tired. We don't get When People See. We don't get those records. We don't get Jesus Is. We don't get like your rendition of like. So from the outside looking in, people would say you out your mind for doing that. What makes you go ahead?
Man, from the outside and when I was having certain conversations, it's like, are you okay? Like,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
man, I'm not gonna say which artist said what, but definitely, some of the responses was, "Yo, like what do you what? No, that's not what you're supposed to do."
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing against them because people can only express what they see, they can only validate what they see, but that don't necessarily mean that what they see is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what they see. And so it was a lot. It was definitely some of that, like what do you no, that ain't what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. It's not your time and all of that, which is, I understand it, nothing personal. But I knew that it was my time. I just knew. I knew it was my time, and it was yes, to focus on artistry, but it was more so that God wanted me to say a specific thing, and I couldn't do that given all of my what I had to the things that I was a part of, so.
So during that time when you make that decision and you're branching out and you're becoming an artist, does your flesh and your head start to play games on you when you see, man, now Tasha, she's here and she just won this award. Now William's here and now he did, and so and so. It's kind of like, man, I got out a little too soon. I should have kept right.
Never.
That's amazing.
Never, because my success was not tied to anybody else's. I didn't, because people would tell me like, yo, just keep on traveling and just have them just give you opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not gonna tie the success that I have, I'm not gonna tie my success to what their platform is their platform.
Mm-hmm.
Their voice is their voice. My voice is mine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, nah, man, when I tell you, I was very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I was very clear, and to this day, like, I have no regrets. Like, I have no desire to get back on the road. Not that it was a bad thing, because I was making a lot of money.
I'm sure,
bro.
I'm sure.
I was never home. I didn't have to play at at a church or anything. Like,
Oh, wow.
I didn't play at a church for like 3 years when I was traveling.
Mm.
I didn't have a consistent like church gig or whatever. Three whole
Which
years.
also means you probably wasn't being fed spiritually as well. Is that a fair assessment or no?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely wasn't. Yeah.
So
I wasn't. Yeah.
which I think is a hard place for, because like you said, you're making a living, you're making great money, but it's kind of like, man, Okay, I should be in my Bible a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I should be hearing more word, but I'm focused on
Mm-hmm.
learning this music for the next place we're going. Um, but I think, like you said before, the fact that you don't have any regrets now, seeing everything happen, it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
And during that time, letting in a way like getting out the seat from these artists, you get signed as an artist
Yeah.
to E1.
Yep.
How does that feel? Because this is something we got to be honest that people fight for and kind of make vision for their whole entire life. I want to get signed. I want to even early on. Some of the artists you work with, Andre Nance and Steve McKoy, and a lot of these guys, like their whole thing was like want to get signed, want to get signed. But for you to actually do it and be at a label who loves you, I've been in sessions with you, and someone from your label calls, "Will you need anything? Everything all right?"
Mm-hmm.
How does it like? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does it
Oh
feel
man!
to
Shout
get?
out to Gina Miller. Shout out
Absolutely,
to you, Gina. I love you
absolutely,
so much.
absolutely.
Love you so much.
How does that feel, man? Not only just to be signed, but to have support from your label. They believe in your music. Then it's like, how does that feel?
Man, honestly, so full circle moment. So when I got signed, it was the same label that Jonathan was
I
signed to,
remember. Yep.
and at his recording where when he did the reunion, he brought me up because the label was there. He brought me on stage, and he announced to everybody in Baltimore. He said, "Y'all, Will been traveling with me." He kind of gave that like speech or whatever. He said, "Now, he's going. I think he said something like he had the nerve to tell me he wasn't traveling with me no more. Whatever. He made a joke. You know how
Uh huh.
Jonathan's crazy. Um, but he said, y'all, um, Will Mcmillan just got signed to E1, and everybody was like, yo, that's crazy, whatever, whatever. But it was a very full circle moment.
Absolutely.
Right, and so
And you were obedient to, like you said, to the word of God that you heard. You were obedient, and then, like your father told you before, that opportunity came again.
yep, it sure did. Came again, and um, yeah, man, that was just crazy. It's like I knew at that moment when I decided to, move on from traveling and different artists and things like that. As crazy as it may have seemed, I knew that I was hearing God, bro.
Just having,
I knew for a fact.
and I feel like that also helps you have just a more stable life.
Yeah,
I
for
think the
sure.
traveling is cool when you're younger, but as you get older, you want to kind of like plant your feet, like you said, have
For
a church
sure.
home, see your family and friends more,
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So you recently just had a major blessing. You were blessed with a baby girl,
Yeah.
and I see you on Instagram with your daughter all the time, and I can just see the joy in your eyes, like light up. Now, when you first found out you were having a baby girl, because we're both Christians, a lot of people say like the church world is very judgmental. Like just people who don't go to church, even maybe some people who do go to church.
Yeah.
Was that a feeling like one, how am I going to explain this to my dad?
Hmm.
Like two, whoever your pastors at the time, how's my pastor going to receive it? Did any of those thoughts go through your mind, or you like, or what are thoughts like? This is a blessing, and I'm excited. That's all that matters.
I wish it was that second one. I
Okay.
wish. Bro, I was scared out of my mind.
To tell your dad, or just in general?
In general, all of it. I was scared out of my mind because
Now, I'm sorry, to cut you off. 'Cause I think this is important. Were you more scared because of what church has kind of like made this thing to be, like having a baby outside of like, or were you more scared to like take that walk?
um, I was. It wasn't really the church. I wasn't really worried about people's opinion like that.
Okay.
I was like 30, 33, 32, like 33 at the time, I think.
Mhm.
That's crazy to think. It's been some years. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Yo,
Yep.
that's crazy. I wasn't really worried about the church as a whole, in a sense. I mean, I did kind of think like, all right, dang, people ain't gonna want to support me no more. A little, it was a little bit of that.
Okay.
I was more so worried about what my dad would think.
I knew. The reason why I kept saying your dad for a reason because
Yeah,
you like, man, my dad's my hero. That's why I kept saying your dad for a reason.
you know what my dad said?
What's that?
My dad said, okay, now I wish you would have done things differently, but you're not the last. And you definitely not. He said you're not the first, and you're definitely not gonna be the last.
Mhm.
And that just gave me such a peace. Like He said, now you know what to do. I don't gotta tell you. He said, I don't gotta tell you how to be there for your kid or for your child. I know you're gonna be that.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you what what you need to do because I already know. He was like, I raised you. You got me as an example. Like he gave me that. I'm like, that was almost him saying, do what you need to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But also believing that that's what I was gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
And when you wake up in the morning, you see that little girl, man. Like, just see the splitting image of yourself, man. How does that feel to be?
Bruh.
To
Hold on. Make sure it's still in. Bro. Man.
that's amazing.
It's my baby. Willow. Yo, other than Jesus, bro, it's the best thing that's happened to me, bro.
And how do you think being a father has changed you?
I now because I can be selfish, and it challenged that side of me because
Mm-hmm.
I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing. Only thinking of myself now.
Mm.
It's all about her, yo. Everything. So like the enemy would even try to like get me to, think that I wasn't gonna have no career no more, and I wasn't gonna, all these different things, and I wasn't gonna, I was just gonna just play at church and go home and just be a dad. It's like no,
Really?
bro. What I had those thoughts. I had all these
Seriously?
bro. What, bro? I had all these crazy thoughts like, yeah, ain't no point of trying to do music, no point of trying to produce nobody, no point of traveling, no point of trying to do these things, because now you got a daughter, so all your time is, and it's like God had to challenge me. Is like, no, that's your daughter is more reason why you should go towards your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because it's literally for her
Mm-hmm.
now. You know what I'm saying? But we all just here like I'm picking her up tomorrow morning, and when she sees me, she's going to run to me
I
and
see
yell,
it all the
"Dad,
time.
dad!"
Yeah, we were all in the group chat, and think you and I FaceTime before, and y'all at the park or something like that, just
Yeah,
seeing her
yeah.
yell, "Daddy, watch me!" Like,
Watch me go down the slide,
yes,
Daddy.
yeah.
Daddy, look.
I think that's just a different feeling. And I think sometimes, and I'm not speaking for Will, I'm being honest, I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah,
I think sometimes this is not Christianity. I mean, church can rob you of that experience because I made a mistake, or I didn't wait to till I got married, and like it
church will
kind of
do
like,
that.
huh?
Church will do that.
Yeah, and that's what it will rob you from experience of actually loving your child, because the stigma, like you said before, I did this and it wasn't the right way, so now I got to kind of like walk in rooms with my head down. It's like, no, I'm still a man of God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even like the word mistake, because it's not a mistake. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, because even when children hear that when they get older, like, what do you like? You know what I mean? So it's like, no, like the only difference between me and you is that you got lucky this time around.
Right. And I got caught.
Yeah, like, you know what I
And
mean?
this is the thing. I will say this, yo, and I'm saying this very carefully. I want to shout out my pastor, Pastor John K. Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shout him out because because that was that was another thing. I was like terrified.
Your dad and then your pastor.
My dad, oh my God, yes. I was terrified.
How long have you been how long has he been your pastor at your church now?
6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, he was at that point. I think it was 4 years or something like that.
Okay.
But man, shout out to Pastor Jenkins, and I'm saying this, and a lot of people may not agree with, this or whatever, and it's fine. But when I did reveal to him that I had a baby on the way, he I don't like to use the word sat me down. I don't like to use that
Mm-hmm.
word, but he did allow me to go through a process to prepare me to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
He set me up with a counselor. He introduced me to this class that was like kind of like geared towards like men and like their spirituality or whatever. Um, and it was because of those things that he assigned me to do or assigned me to be a part of that really prepared me in ways that I don't think I would have been to be Willow's father, yo.
Wow. I think that's amazing, not even knowing him, because like you said, I won't say most, some pastors would say, "Oh, you did this, okay, you sat down, blah blah blah. It's okay, but I I'm still experiencing something I haven't experienced before. Like he actually put you in position, like you said, to like,
to
okay,
win.
do this, not just say, yeah, we're not proud of what you did. Like,
Yeah.
so I think
It's
that's
more like it was because the mentality. I remember he even saying this. He said, "In this class is more me doing this is more so to try to figure out like where your mental is, you know,
mm,
like as a man and as a man of God. And when I tell you like, and I can't even lie, I can't say that I agree with everything that I had to go through.
mm-hmm.
I can't even act like I am fond of some of the people that I encountered around that time,
Mm-hmm.
at church or whatever. Because it's like, yeah, some things may be past us hard, but then other people they kind of take things and kind of
Of
do
course,
what they want with
of
it or
course. That's what I was
whatever.
saying about the church.
Yeah, it's but I will say that because pastor allowed me to kind of go through that process, I wouldn't have it any other way,
Amazing.
bro. Willow, me how I love Willow and how I show up for Willow, I would have showed up for her then. Even how I show up for her mom. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Me and her mom are together. We're not together at all.
Right,
We're strictly co-parents.
right.
But even how I show up for her, if I didn't have those classes, I wouldn't have been in a position to deal with the things that I've been able to deal with. And now me and her mom are at a, we're at a good, we both love Willow equally, and it's a great
I
experience.
think that's the first time, and I could be wrong if I don't want to offend anybody, but I apologize if I'm wrong. I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone say anything like that about a pastor. Say, okay, not just okay, you can't play, but okay, we're gonna sit down for a while, but we also gonna put this in place for you to do X, Y, Z. I think that's very, very important.
And honestly, some people you also have to, that's why I said I'm I don't do anything that I'm not anywhere where I'm not supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I was assigned to play at Glen Iron.
Hmm.
Like I know that I was called there. I was called to that ministry. And I also know that Pastor Jenkins is supposed to be my pastor.
Mm.
So that means Pastor Jenkins don't only pastor my gift, he pastors me. And so if I call you my pastor, I have to allow you to be my pastor in
Mm.
every area of my life. You know what I'm saying? Even in the parts, even
Even
when
when
I
I feel
don't
like,
agree.
yes, I'm about to say, yeah.
Pastor Jenkins, and I hope he may see this, he may not. I
Hmm.
hope I hope you're okay with me saying this, Pastor. But around that time, I was offered to go on tour with Natalie Grant. If you don't know who Natalie Grant is, she's basically like the CC Winans of like that, like Christian contemporary world.
Hmm.
I was I was offered to go her on her Christmas tour.
Hmm.
Her husband reached out to me, and we were on FaceTime. He was showing me all the music. I reached out to Pastor Jenkins, and Pastor Jenkins said, "I don't know if it's time yet."
Mm.
Told me, but he didn't say no. He said if he said if I was you, I would consider not doing that because I don't think it's time. So he still gave me the option.
Hmm.
Um, but because that would have been a thing where I would have to take leave or whatever. But
Right.
that's aside that. He told me, he said, I just don't think it's time yet, and I had a decision to make. It's like, say, man, but this Natalie Grant's the biggest,
Hmm.
or I take the L and figure out like the message and what I'm so why he suggested that, and I decided to I called him. I said, hey, big bro, I'm not gonna go. It hurt my heart. I cried like a baby, but I took it. But if I call somebody my pastor, if somebody has walks in a certain level of authority over my life, over my spiritual walk, then I have to look at them as that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, just I just had to shout out Pastor Jenkins
That's
because
amazing.
yeah,
I, that's amazing because there are 1,000 ways to handle that situation,
hmm
especially what the church will want you to do. He need to, you know what I mean. So
hmm
it's like I think it's paramount how he handled that situation
yeah.
because it made you from what you're telling me, it made you a better man.
Man, listen, I know for a fact that season that I went to, the good, bad, indifferent, the ugly, all of it. I know that I was supposed to go through all of it, and I know it made me who I am is making me who I am even further. So
what would you tell a younger musician? And it's for everyone, but I'm just going to use musicians because I feel like it's it's not a sensitive arena, but I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. It's easy for us to fall into temptation because of the gifts that God has blessed us with. So what would you tell a younger musician who has almost in a sense their luck's ran out and now they have to explain to their father or their pastor or that, like, you know what I mean, that hey, I'm without a child, but they're feeling that I'm with a child and they're feeling that shame, they're feeling that guilt, they're feeling like, man, people gonna judge me, people gonna be looking at me funny, people like, yeah, see, I got it, that's what you get. You thought you was gonna, like, what would you tell a younger musician who's dealing with that or who's in the process of dealing with that now?
um I would tell them that honesty is the best policy. Don't try to hide it because it's going to reveal itself at some point.
Hmm.
Um, but seek counsel, man. Like seek wise counsel, cause
Emphasis on wise.
yeah, wise counsel. There's a few scriptures that I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now. There's a few scriptures, even in Proverbs, that talks about just counsel. But um, seek counsel. Be honest. And this is a whole new world that you're about to walk into. Um, and that child is going to need you. No matter how you feel, child is on the way.
Hmm.
So do everything in your power to be prepared. Um, to be prepared. Talk to people who have been where you are. Talk to people who are where you are. Um, I mean that's all I could think of right now. I just know that I have a mentor right now I talk to. Willow crashing out and screaming and all that. I'm like, I want to spank her, but I don't know if I'm supposed to. And all
Hmm.
we had conversations about that. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, but it's get yourself in the community. If you have a church, if you do have if you are playing somewhere, try to have some kind of relationship with your pastor, or if not, someone that's at your church that's a figure that you may look up to. Find yourself a mentor, build yourself a community. You know what I'm saying? Also, like make peace with the child's mother.
Hmm.
Like, what I'm saying? Just practical
Yeah.
things, whatever.
It's stuff that's uncomfortable, but I think you hit
Yeah,
it on the head. That yeah,
yeah,
it's uncomfortable
yeah.
to walk into a space and feel judged
Hmm.
because of something that you did. Like, you know what I mean? It's and because like my dad's a pastor, I play like yeah, it's uncomfortable. Like you said, honesty is the best policy, even when it's uncomfortable. Um,
And that part about being judged, like, you just gotta figure out a way to not personalize it, because it's black. Like, I know I'm not sure if you've experienced this, but I'd be out. When I first would have Willow out and she was in her stroller, people would look at me like I was crazy. Like, what that man out there doing with that child? You know,
yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes,
you
yes,
know what
yes.
I'm saying? They'd be looking like
Yeah.
or the first question people ask, "Where's her mama?" It's just like well, you just gotta look at that just for what it is. Like, people are gonna be people,
It's
but
like
how are you gonna show up?
yeah, it's like
For your
seeing
child.
seeing a man with his child is uncommon.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy, but yeah, get in the community. There's this thing happening on TikTok right now. It's called Dad Supporting Dads.
Hmm.
It is the most amazing thing to see, man. It's just these dads, they just, making videos talking about their children or whatever, just encouraging each other, saying like, you can do this or whatever. Because being a dad it's not an easy thing, especially being a dad that's single, a
Hmm.
single dad. You know what I'm saying? Well, not a single dad technically because her mom is in her life or whatever, and we partner, but it's not easy.
Let's pull the covers off. That's especially being a dad and being a black man.
Yeah.
Because there's a stigma that we don't take care of our children.
Oh my
There's a
God,
stigma that we aren't around. We like so like you,
bruh.
like you know what I mean. It's like we like this is my brother. We gonna be honest and transparent. This
Yeah.
it's that thing is real for us. And I tell people all the time when I had these conversations. We're not trying to play a pity party. None of
Yeah.
us, no man that I'm connected to who I call my friend and brother. We don't play the pity party. But
Yeah.
there is a difference. Being a black man raising a child, even when you're with the mom or if you guys are not together, there's a difference that we don't do this enough. We don't show up enough. We don't like it's like and we are. It's
Hmm.
like I think we let one example or something that we may see on TV, or even somebody we may know, we kind of take that paintbrush and paint all black men as not being providers or not taking care of for their children, not showing up, not helping them with homework, not coming to parent teacher conferences because
Yeah,
we may be busy. But no, we do those things.
bro. Listen, there's a stat, and it's such a flawed stat. Um, and it was said that I think 30% of children live with their fathers or something like that, and
Hmm.
like the 70% like like live with their mothers or whatever. And I'm like, that's such a flawed stat because you look at when a child is born, especially if it's like born to parents who aren't married, the child has to have some kind of have to have an address
Hmm.
in order to have a birth certificate, whatever the case
Yeah.
is. So it's mostly gonna go on the mother's
Yes.
address
Yeah.
because the mothers are usually the primary caregiver.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that the child is not staying with the father. It
Right.
just means that the child's address
Yeah.
is the mother's.
Or they could be in the process of figuring things out. Okay, hey, we about to get a place together, but we'll use my address to have it sent here.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
many, but it's like all of most of the fathers that I know are in their children's lives,
yeah.
and like that. So it's like with certain stats is really not true.
Very. It can be misleading when you kind of
Very
look
misleading. Very
when
misleading.
you look into the stats. They can be very misleading. That's all around the board. You got to be careful when we're looking at that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Um, all of the success that you had from playing with artists, MDing, producing, traveling around the world. I think people from the outside looking in will look at you like, man, this dude, he's so blessed, he's so fortunate, man. He don't even know how blessed he is. Has there ever been a time where you felt like you weren't good enough, not just as a producer, or MD, a musician, but as a person, like in this world? Has there ever been a time? Because I think a lot of times people see your accomplishments and all of the praise you get from people and your relationships. They say like, man, this he just got it good. Like it looks like this lane was made for you. Like
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
you've had, like I said, we kind of rehashed and we get ready to finish up. But you had the Justins, the Kenny, the Adams, the Mike Reeds, people that I probably don't even know who like man really see you and value. Kind of like man, that dude, he's had this whole industry kind of just poured into him. Has there been a time in your life where you felt like I'm not good enough? Like I said, not just as a producer or MD, a musician, but as a person, as a man. Has there been a time like that?
Well, I deal with it every day, bro.
Really?
I deal with it every day. When we used to joke, we used to say, "Man, it's trigger the enemy."
Yeah, we.
But yo, bro, I deal with it every day. Not because I deal with depression.
Mhm.
That's something that I deal with. Like I don't, I'm not on medication or anything. I never was diagnosed, but the symptoms of depression, that's something that I deal with often. Just not feeling adequate, not feeling like I'm enough. When I was in school, you talking about all them years that I was, not well, I was playing for those like different like artists and groups and all that, and before in middle school and all that, but I was
Really?
picked on real bad, like because, they used to call me dumb and remember in school, middle school we had like a vocabulary word or whatever,
Mhm.
and so like it's funny, but not funny now. But when in sixth grade we had the vocabulary word, it was illiterate,
Okay.
and that means not having the ability to read and write or whatever.
Mhm.
That was my nickname for the rest of middle school.
Oh wow.
Because when they used to have us read out loud in class, I would stutter over words because it was more of my anxiety. It wasn't I couldn't read; it was my anxiety. So the kids, they were so mean to me, bro.
Mhm.
Um, and so that 13-year-old, now I'm 36. At times,
Creeps
um,
out.
it comes out to where it's like I'm self conscious of like even this interview right now. I'm nervous about it because I'm like I don't want nobody to like see me not figure out a word and think I'm done. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
like stuff like
wow.
so. It's like, but I also have to like constantly like remind myself that like God has chosen me to do
Mhm.
something, in this world. And, that trumps all of it.
And I think that's why I tell people all the time is like our mind is one of the most dangerous tools we have because other people's perceptions of you, people who don't really know you to your core, can kind of shape who you are, and you'll believe it.
Man, life have a way of showing you like it's like so sometimes I'll be in conversation. I'm like, man, I'm really intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the enemy be trying to tell you like you're not, like
Yeah.
no, that's not. But it's like it's just crazy. That's why you just really just have to like know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but that it tried like to your question earlier. It would try to try to creep up or whatever, and I would go through these moments where I'm depressed or whatever. But I ain't gonna lie. One thing that gets me out of that space is when I'm in my purpose, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like, not this is just where I feel safe that nobody can touch me here.
Bro.
If I had to assume.
Bro, yes. And to the point where I was, and this was when I was in like ninth grade, 10th grade. Remember I told you that at Sojourner Christian Academy they had a piano in it's crazy how like these things like go full circle. But they had a piano. I was in 10th grade. They had a piano in the auditorium, and they was making jokes about me, saying I'm dumb this, I'm dumb that. I left class one day because this lady said, this dude said something. He's like, yeah, well, you can't, man. You got all F's or whatever. And then the teacher said, I mean, you may not have all F's, but your grades aren't good. And she says this in front of everybody. She said
to the other student.
No, she's talking to me.
Okay.
She's like, your grades aren't really good. Is the work just too hard for you? That's what she said.
In front of the students.
In front of everybody, bro.
Jesus.
And mind you, it's a new school, so these teachers aren't really like that. You know what I mean?
Acclimated to how things go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got up. I left that classroom. I went into the auditorium where the piano was. Back then, we had little Walkman CD players. I popped in that Bruce Hornsby Halcyon Days that Amos gave me. Bro, I played my heart out, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about till tears was falling down my face, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And music has always been my safe space, bro.
And that's
always.
That tells me into this question. I see you talk. The person I'm talking about, I see you speak about him as being your big brother and how much he has helped you as well, Anthony Brown.
Shout out to AJB.
Shout out to Anthony Brown, man.
Brother!
Amazing songwriter, amazing producer.
Listen.
But this last project, you got a chance to produce 2 records. One, meeting him. How did that come about? And then, like, your relationship over the years.
So Anthony's actually known me since I was like a kid. Like
oh wow.
10-year-old.
Okay.
Him and my cousin Lee, they're like best friends. They're really
Lee
close.
Pearson?
Yeah, Lee Pearson.
What?
Best friends. Real super close.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose that information. I mean, it ain't a secret, but it's what it is.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, they're super close. I'm talking about like when I was like a kid trying to play drums, and Anthony because they both went to school for the arts.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Anthony would be over at my aunt's house, like at cookouts and stuff like that. Like I got an old picture of him and Lee when they were both in like the 11th grade or something like that, and like Anthony's like singing, like it's like it goes like that far. But then some years go by, Anthony was transitioning from because it was Anthony Brown and Answer Prayers for a minute. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-hmm.
It was Anthony Brown, Answer Prayers.
I think because Corey was just here. That's when Corey was playing Josh Lay and used to sing with him.
And Justin Lay was playing aux for him.
I just sat down with Justin. We had an interview too. He told me
shout
as
out to Justin too, one of the dopest producers.
Absolutely, shout out to Justin.
Goodness grief. Which I ain't gonna lie, Justin actually, when it came to like recording and producing and things like that, like I mean pressing red, Justin introduced me to that.
Really?
Yes. Justin Lay.
Well, I didn't know that.
Justin Lay introduced me to even the concept of recording my own voice. I did my first like the still on YouTube. I did my first like little song like in Justin's studio when he was living out here.
Okay, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that the one you had like a sample from like the Will of God, perfect?
No, I did that at my house, but
Okay, the one before that.
it was before that.
Okay.
But Justin introduced me to that, like the concept of stacking my own vocals and all. Like Justin Lay, King Midas introduced me to that. Just set the record straight. Justin is the reason why.
That's amazing.
A major reason why. So I wanted to give you your flowers, bro.
Absolutely.
But it was Lee was on drums. John Paul McGee was on key.
Justin just said the same thing you're saying now. Justin, he was a part of
Yep. So that was Anthony Brown and Answer Prayers, and that was like, but then he was transitioning from Answer Prayers to group therapy, which you know today. I was a part of the start of group therapy. So I was playing with it was myself, Adam, Jordan. It was myself, Adam, and Jordan at first.
Okay.
And we would do like, that's when like Pastor Chris who was having, because Anthony was missing music over there at Pastor Chris Church. I was at Mount Enon at the time, but we would we'd be rehearsing and things like that, and I did a couple dates with him, and then that's when Justin came in the mix or whatever, and him and Justin started co-writing and all of that, and then that's when we did the infamous Kicking with the King when Anthony shut the whole place down.
As he always does.
Yeah, but do you remember that specific one?
No, I don't.
Bro, I don't even know if it's on YouTube now or whatever, but bro, that because Jonathan was the headline. It's crazy how all of this is like, but Jonathan was the headliner.
Okay.
Anthony was going on before him.
Okay.
And Anthony did
I've heard about this before. Go ahead.
He did the song "Your Presence Is Water, Comfort, we invite you in." But that was a crazy moment. I think what's his name? Warren Campbell was there, whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, but I was a part of that, and then I stopped playing with Anthony, for a while. But I think him and Justin really started to really develop there, so Justin kind of formulated that whole, whatever. Fast forward, me and Anthony never lost contact. We were like checking here and there. Anthony came to my release at I-5.
Yep.
And he was telling me how proud he was of me. I think a week later, I performed this thing for like Tasha, Cobbs, whatever. And Anthony was there. Anthony in group therapy. They actually sang background.
Okay.
For when I did Best Thing or whatever.
Oh wow.
So crazy. So crazy how like this be full circle. I told Anthony probably a week later after that, I'm like, bro, I'm like, hey man, I believe I'm called to Glen Arden. And I'm playing the Glen Arden. So I'm just saying, like, that was Anthony is in the mix of all of what we talked about, So fast forward, me and Anthony are now like, at Glen Arden. That's big bro. We creating a lot of moments together and just developing our relationship. And this last project that he did, it was a song that he was like, we did for like this taping, and he was like, Will, I want you to produce it for me. I'm like, what? Wait, huh? He's like, no, I want you to produce it for me. I'm like, okay, and I just like let it go. A couple days later, he hit me. He was like, yeah, so I'm gonna send you a reference. I really want you to produce this for me. And then that song that's on his record now called Even in This.
I knew you get ready to say that. When you were here recording that, and I'm like, man, you about to do something. And I'm seeing like the wheels turn in your head. I'm like, even in, and you're telling, I forgot the drummer name.
Rod.
Yes, you're telling me. I want
Shout
you
out to Rod.
Even in, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just watching. And then
Uh-huh.
I'm watching the song go. Even do the, you like, hold right here. I'm like, and then when y'all got done, say, oh yeah, he's different.
Yeah.
Like legit different, because most people wouldn't approach that song like that. Most people would approach that song like a regular ballad. Even in, I know you. And you're like, no. Even chill. And you're back. You know what I mean? Like, and even how you were moving, like, of chord structure wise, like it wasn't just like no, you were being intentional with everything you were doing,
Bro.
and that's probably why he called you.
Yeah, and I sent him the final like rough with everything. He texted me back, wow, like wow. And the entire project, because the other song we recorded, they didn't put on that record, but he's going to use for something else. But that record got nominated for a Dove. So, man, it's just shout out to Anthony. He just continuously, like he Anthony he's my big brother. Somebody I look up to, like very much like, mentor. But you know how we say we don't use the word brother loosely? No, like Anthony he's shown up for me in ways where he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Always he's super busy, you know what I'm saying? But he also makes himself available, you know what I'm saying? And this is just beyond music. This is just life and just, so I really, really, really appreciate you, man. Like you my brother for real. I love you. Love you.
That's amazing. See, we got a few more questions and we're gonna be done.
Yeah.
When a few, I actually mean two. When you see this generation of musicians come up, specifically keyboard players and organ players, when you have Dominic Bryce,
Yeah.
you have Joe Pryor, you have James Ash, even Corey, he plays at my church now. You have like Garfield.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when you're seeing these guys come out? Do they remind you of your ascension when you came up? What do you think when you see these guys navigating this space?
Man, I make jokes with them all the time. Like, man, I retired. I haven't really retired, but those guys, and I feel like James Ash is more so on the other side of it. Like he's older than, but I do understand what you're saying. Though.
Yes,
I do understand what you're saying. First of all, James Ash, this Negro is so crazy on that organ, bro.
James really is.
So I recorded. So I did a session with I did not the latest. I think 2 records ago. JJ Harrison. I did keys for that. And James Ash was on organ, and I'm like, the way this dude, I'm just watching like the way that he like just is interpreted whatever's being like sung, because I think the guy Pastor David Wolford was singing this specific song, and I'm like, the way he's following him is just like, yo, James is an animal, yo.
I agree.
Like James is, and it's like never stops, like it's just information. It's like, yo, what goes on through your head? But like all of those guys, man, Joe, Dominique, man, I remember. Man, Dominique, I remember he was a kid. I remember all of them was kid. I remember Corey was just starting to play, and his dad would bring him to my church. Like, hey man, my son has potential.
Really?
Yeah, he would bring him to my dad's church. He would play at at the 2:00 service that he would have.
Wow.
And I mean, he was just figuring it out. But like to see where he is now, like Corey is killing it, man. Joe, I remember Joe was a kid, man. That was when I was playing at Israel Baptist. He was playing at this other church. We used to fellowship, and I'm just like, yo, okay, this young guy. And mind you, he ain't played nothing. It wasn't nothing fancy. One thing I could tell when somebody has it is like when they played them hymns right. He was playing them hymns right.
I remember seeing him play on a video with you at Buddy Studio. Good Morning Joy. You remember that?
Oh my God, that was when Joe started. He was really kind of ascending to like who he is now. But yeah, Joe was actually one of my first keyboard players when I was kind of trying to figure out like the artist thing. But yeah, man, all of those, I look at them and I'm just like, man, it's just amazing to see.
So when you play around with the term like I retired, when you talk to them guys, like what makes you say that, or why do you say that in a sense?
I say it because I'm definitely at the place where I'm not looking to play for no artist.
Okay. That makes sense.
I ain't doing that.
That makes sense.
I'll play on a recording, I'll produce a recording.
Right.
But I'm not
Right.
I'm not traveling anybody. I'm not doing that. It's like I had a season for that and I was able to make a lot of impact doing that. but I also understand the season I'm in now.
Right.
And that's just not that. If I wanted to, could I? Yeah, I can go on the road and be just fine. But that's just not where I am. So I just joke with him and I say like, yeah, y'all, I'm retired, man, and but it's just more so is a blessing to watch and see those guys really develop and to see like where they are. Like Dominique, he played for Moret. I think he's traveling with Kiki right now. Kiera
Yep.
Shear.
Yep.
I mean to say Kiki Kier, but Kiera Shear right now. But he came to my church for a New Year's revival. He was playing with Moret. He was on the organ, and I'm just listening. I'm like, yo, this dude is like, this is grown man playing right here. And to see that is just amazing. So I just really want him to just keep going and
I asked you that because I remember seeing a video of you on YouTube playing "Lift Him Up." You remember that?
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, God, like this dude, and this is Lil Mac. This wasn't Will. This is Lil Mac. So that's why I asked you that about being retired, because I know, because you're also a competitor. Like, I know you still have that, and not to say like, I mean, it's about that, but it's like, I know you still have that in you.
Yeah.
As far as being a competitor. So that was my reasoning for that.
Yeah.
The last, how we're gonna close out, is not a question. I wanted to give you your real flowers and say, bro, thank you. When I first said to myself, I wanted to kind of build the studio, and I got everything up and running, and we had one session together. And I want you to know why you're here. Just by me working with you and you attending, like you attaching like yourself and your name and your brand to my studio, my business, I've gotten so many work merely off the fact that, oh, Will said go ahead, and it was a cool experience. People, I'm like, how'd you find out? Oh, yeah, Will told me to come. Or people just saying, like, to the point where certain things in my studio, I have a woolen band snare now that I didn't know about. I'm dead serious. I didn't know about it.
Is it the gold one?
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But no, I really want you to say, man, like, you gave me an opportunity to showcase my gift and my ability, and I want you to know, because of your brand and what you have created, I have been able to just have so much success with people trusting me to record their record or to mix their record, just by the fact that, oh, I saw Will there. Will was there. Spot must be dope. And that came in the vein of Mike Reid coming to record his Janet Jackson audition tape there. Adam coming to record some of the stuff there. Justin calling me to mix records. Other people from different parts of the world just say, hey, like, I'm in town. I need to do a session. Will said this was a dope spot. Or people just seeing, like, I really want you to know that I appreciate that, bro, because you have a million places to go. There are a million different studios in the DMV, period. And the fact that you were open enough to let me prove my worth, and I'm saying prove my worth, because we got to be honest. You let me prove my worth to say, hey, I can move in these arenas. Hey, I can get this. Or you need files sent, or you need a performance track. Like, so I really want you to know that I appreciate that, and you have helped me so much in my business. I remember even my pastor, you may have posted something. I think he told me you let him hear something, and he's like, man, this is clean. Where'd you record this at? You live recorded at J Spot, the War Factor. And he called me like, you record this for Will? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be calling. So, like,
Man.
and we already had a connection, but just the connection that you guys had made that process for him a no-brainer. So I really want you to know that I appreciate you as a friend and as a brother, because that's something you did that for me, and that really, really helped change my life. Because it's people, I never forget when Phil Bryan came here with his band. It was Calvin Rogers and Matt Ramsey. I was like, yeah, this is the Wall Factory. Well, I'm just like, these are like the top of the top cats, and they're coming just off of saying, or just off hearing that Will said it's a cool place to go. So I really want you to know, man, from the bottom of my
Man,
heart,
bro.
like, I appreciate that, man. I really want you to know that. And I want you to give your flowers. I want to give you flowers while you're here, man. Like, that depression thing, sometimes people deal with it, they don't know, but don't forget who you are outside of music. At your core,
Yeah.
you're a good person. Like, you're a great father, you're a great
Thank you, bro.
brother, you're a great son, and you're an amazing producer. Your sound is different. So, like, that's why I was picking on you when you said the whole. I know you were playing with the retired thing, but I don't even like to hear you say that, because I
Yeah.
feel like you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you're young. Like, you just said that you were listening to 20-year-old Justin Savage and 20-year-old Tyrae Brewer playing these records. Like, you're only 36 years old. So, and I feel like now in Instagram culture is that everything is like let me show you everything I can do in this clip. And I
Mm.
think a lot of times when people do that, you get marginalized into being that.
Mhm.
Oh, you the guy who be going crazy on Instagram.
Mhm.
Cool, I'll call you if I need you to go crazy on the
Mhm.
record. But when you built up enough cachet and you have substance like you do
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I don't even like, as your brother, I'm be serious. I'm not trying to be funny, but I only like to hear you saying the word retire,
Yeah.
saying retired.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like this playing field is yours. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All of us are going to get older, and and now you're like, you're not the old head, you're the OG now.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen you in sessions with Dom. Like, hey, do this, blah, 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 blah. I've seen, like, you early on, like I said, that buddy spot with Joe Pryor and, like, you know, other guys who you probably have relationships with who I don't even know about. But just know that your time is not done. It's really just starting. You're only 36 years old, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're, like, what Justin Savage is to you is what you are to that next generation that's coming behind you. So don't
Yeah.
forget that. So when you
Yeah.
feel like, oh, I'm not worth it or this, like understand the people who you are influence. That minor third movement, people don't even call it that. You know what they call it?
What's that?
Yo, give me a Will and Banfield, bro. Like,
Man, yo.
people call it that. And now it's happening more and more where you see guys walking that minor third. Yo, go again.
Mhm.
And as soon as people hear, it's like, they got like a Will and Banfield. People will just say it. And not even just that minor third movement, but like your approach, because your approach is not CCM. Your approach is a mixture of everything. So it's like, it's a Will and Band sound, because I've seen you work with musicians who think you want them to play CCM, and you like, that's not what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to do a little bit of that,
Yeah.
but at your core, I need you to be able to do this as well.
Yeah.
So understand that you have actually created, like when Justin told you that, he was being truthful. You have created an actual sound. Like we have the feel in Baltimore. There's a Will and Band feel, 100%. There is a 100% Will, and I've seen you do it. Just pull musicians and make it work. Even from your first drummer, from Jordan, then you had Thomas, then you had Rayford.
Yeah.
All like
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
It's crazy, bro.
Even from guitar players. It's
Yeah.
like even Twan to see, like, you know, you giving him opportunities. Now Twan is, we see Twan everywhere. He's here playing with Adam Blackstone, but you have a knack for just finding talent and honing that talent and giving people confidence.
Yeah.
Like there was a time when Twan came to the studio and he wasn't even playing. He just wanted to be there. Brandon was still playing. He's like, man, Will said I can come. He said I can sit in.
Yeah.
Just excited to be there. So just think about the amount of people who you have influenced. That sometimes like the devil will play tricks with us, and we don't even realize all the great work that we have done. So I really mean that, man. Don't discredit yourself in any way, shape, or form.
Wow, Jay.
Or fashion. And you know, my door and my phone is always open for us to have good dialogue. But I want you to know that what you have gave this city is special, and it hasn't stopped with the city. I've heard people be in the studio and they'll be playing records like, yeah, like they took Willfield for this. And to be honest, sometimes I'll be oblivious and I'll kind of like eavesdrop a little bit. See how they be doing it? That's what Will. I'm like, oh, that is Willfield. Like, I never forget going to Nashville and a good friend of mine, John Yash, seeing him mix Travis Green record and seeing you on keys. He's like, who's the piano player? He's very intricate. I really love what he's doing. I'm like, that's my guy, Will. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So it's just cool to hang your hat on that from somebody from your city who is traveling all across the world and being respected, man. But I just wanted to give you your flowers and let you know that we love you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And we appreciate you, man. I really mean that to my core, bro.
I mean a lot, yo.
This is Will, Jay. We're at the Wall Factory. Thank you guys for just listening to us, and we're out.
We out. Peace. Man.